with someone.
Hey!
Hi!
Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana.
And Marnie.
Who's going first?
What do you mean who's going first?
Usually we have like an update of the day or the week. I have nothing.
Neither do I, actually. That was so real. We're so real for
This
that.
week has just been work.
Literally
there's
nothing crazy happened to me this week.
Yeah, I don't want my life to just be work and home and sleep.
I had caught up with someone yesterday.
Who?
A writer.
Oh, okay.
We talked about dating.
Oh.
It was really interesting, actually.
Dating each other?
No.
Okay, no,
this is a work.
You can find your person anywhere.
No. We were talking about dating, her
Yeah.
experiences, because she's queer, so she dates mostly women, but she also has dated some men recently, so we were talking about that. And I was talking about the terrible date that I went on a year ago that I keep bringing up because I haven't been dating anybody since.
Like you always have that wrong reference point.
No, but honestly, it stuck with me.
Yeah. Also, when you don't date a lot, you have like multiple stories for that same person, but no one needs to know it's the same person.
It's not the same person.
Okay.
I have multiple stories. They're all different people.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I use multiple stories of the same person.
No, because usually it's like, I see a red flag, we never see each other again.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
But, wait, what was the date then? The what? Well, have you told me this?
I told you this.
Yeah. Bad kisser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her about it and she was just like, the perspective that she gave to me was like, perhaps because he has an insecure attachment, he wanted to kiss you for the reassurance and the validation that you liked him.
Yeah, but...
No, she wasn't saying it was okay.
No, I know. No,
I was like, oh, that's
I get
interesting
what you mean,
because
that's what
at
you
the
mean.
time I just thought he was crazy. I was like, I don't even know the thought process that led you to this point. It's not making sense.
Yeah.
But when she said that, because she was saying she was dating someone who she was like, oh, I'm trying to take things slowly.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, come to my house. And she was like, well, why would I come to your house? She's like, oh, I'm having loads of friends over.
Yeah.
So she went, there were all these friends there.
Yeah.
It was good. At some point in the evening, she was like, oh, come upstairs. Yeah. She was like, well, I've told you about my boundaries, so why are we coming upstairs? She was like, oh, just come upstairs with me. She went upstairs with her, and then she like tried to kiss her, and she was like, we talked about this, and she was like, yeah, but how will I know if you like me? I was like, use your words, maybe? But so she was like, yeah, it felt like that person communicated afterwards that like, because they just felt like, how do people express that they like each other if they're not physical with each other?
Use your words!
Well, when I told you I wasn't trying to like move too quickly with that, why didn't you just move on? Find someone else? Like, why did you continue this? I think maybe you thought you were going to wear me down, which is like a lack of respect towards my boundaries.
But it's also, we live in a world where it's like encouraged to be persistent. Like, oh, you know, if she says no, I'm talking this from a very heterosexual perspective, but like, if she says no, just keep going, because one day she'll turn around and realize you're the one.
Has that ever happened?
I was watching like a snippet on TikTok of Olivia Atwood, that I think she was like early Love Island, and she got married to some guy that I'm assuming was definitely not from Love Island.
No,
but he knew her. He had dated her before she went into Love Island. They had a very rocky relationship. She was like, I can't do this anymore, and had the offer to go to Love Island, so she went. When she got back, I think she broke up with the person that she coupled up with, and I think it was quite a while later then, you know, he had been wearing her down even from when she had left Love Island, saying, you know, we're gonna get back together, you're the one, and then eventually she gave him another chance, and you know, they just recently got married. But still, like, I don't think persistence is always key, because they may always end up, or they could end up being resentment if your heart is not fully there and you're settling versus you wanting to be with them.
Yeah, and I also think that like, everyone should be with someone who, when you say, I'd love to kiss you, is like, I would love for you to kiss me.
You don't need to say it.
No, I think
are we living in a world where we have to say it? Because I think
the more I think about it, especially what's going on with the head of the Spanish football.
Yes.
There is a way of asking that's hot. There is actually.
Yeah.
It's not like randomly in the middle of a meal, you look up and you're like, I really want to kiss you. Like, you don't have to do it like that, but there is a way where it's like, you two of you are vibing, they're like, I'd really like to kiss you right now. And you're like, shut up. No. But feel like you know that the person does want that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say, I really like to kiss you, and I'm like, no, you also know that I don't want you to kiss you.
But also,
so we can now avoid the instance where you just loom at me and I dodge you and now you're feeling rejected. Because if you had said, there is no rejection and I want to kiss you, you're just telling me how you feel.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you how I feel. And there's not a rejection thing. But if you try to kiss me and I dodge or elbow you in the face, now it's the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're calling the police.
Yeah. It's awkward. It's not awkward if you have emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
And it's not awkward if you, I'm not saying that get the right signals, but also
you can tell when someone likes you.
You can tell,
you actually can.
You should be able to, most intelligent people should be able to tell when someone likes you, and also when it's the right time, because I've never kissed someone where I've been asked to. It just happened. Because the vibes were there, and it made sense, and the signals were there as well.
I equally know, like, someone's only ever asked me to kiss me once, and it's the same person because they tried to kiss me the first time and I've been absolutely not. So they asked the second time, but when they asked, I felt like I had to say yes.
Yeah, that's very
It didn't feel like, oh, we're even playing field. I don't mind if you say yes or no to this.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm really enjoying this night and it'd be really lovely to kiss you.
Yeah.
But it's okay if you don't. It kind of felt like, please say yes, please.
Oh.
Please. And you're just sort of like, oh.
As we know, Marnie does not like a guy who begs.
Begging.
Doesn't like a guy who talks too much or begs.
Please don't beg.
Big ick.
It's just like, you have gone from a person I respect to a person I don't respect in a heartbeat. I've lost respect for you. Why are you begging? Have some dignity.
I actually don't even know where in the conversation the please.
Have some dignity. Ask yourself, if you've got to say please, have you not lost the have you not lost the fight?
Yeah.
The fight's been lost.
Because they don't like you. For you to say please, you know it's a no.
You asked me and I said nothing. Then you said please. Then I said nothing. Then you said please again.
Oh no!
Please?
Oh no!
Honestly, my stomach turned.
You should have just walked away.
I thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah, like...
I said, this is too great.
The thing is, you know what's the worst? It's not even the word please. Because, okay, again, we teach children that please and thank yous are respectful.
Yeah.
I was at a church retreat over the weekend and I was volunteering with the kids, and one of the things was like, you reward the kids when they have polite manners and when they say please and thank yous.
Yeah.
Great. But I'm now imagining his face when he's like, please.
Why are you giving him a high-pitched voice?
Okay, sorry. Please.
You sound like a ghost. You sound like one of the ghosts that visited Scrooge in the Christmas Carol.
What?
Back up.
What else am I going to say? Okay, please though. Please, man.
What you need to understand is the body language is giving, I don't care, but you are still saying please. You obviously care. That would make me laugh.
That would the thing.
The body language is not matching what you're saying. You are begging, but you're acting like you're not begging.
The thing is, you don't care, but you care.
I don't even care, but please. I don't even care.
But please.
You obviously care. No, I don't even care, but please kiss me, please. I don't care. Like, please you need to make your mind up.
Please though. Please.
Make your mind up, man. I mean, at that point, I'm walking away just because I feel scared for my life.
I know, exactly. Because you're like, if you don't take no for an answer, that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. It shows that you don't know how to listen.
It's not even like,
respect.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't even think not taking no for an answer is necessarily immediately an ick for me, but I think it's the not being able to read signals.
Yeah.
I think you know when someone wants to kiss you.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think I knew he wanted to kiss me before he kissed me.
Yeah.
Which is why we went and stood by the river. It's like, here is a spot. No one's here. Here is your opportunity. Here is your opportunity. Here is your opportunity. He didn't take it. So I said, oh, maybe he doesn't want to kiss me.
Oh.
We've now walked away from the spot. We're talking about something completely mundane, not romantic at all. The weather. You've now grabbed me. When I say grabbed me, I don't mean like we're facing each other and you grab me. We're walking side by side. You grab me as if there's a car coming and you're trying to pull me out the road.
Oh, no.
So now my heart is racing. I think I'm about to die. I'm like, what's going on? You're like, I'm trying to kiss you.
Oh god! Oh gosh! It's
And
so
when I
bad.
told you, the way I pulled myself out of that man's grip, and I looked at him, and I said, "Are you fucking joking?"
Yeah.
I thought I was about to die.
Yeah.
My heart was racing. We had to sit down and talk about it afterwards because one, my heart was racing in a way that I was like, I now feel like my anxiety is up here.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm going to die based on the way that you've conducted yourself. You're telling me that I'm supposed to be romantic, and it's not computing.
It's not. But also the thing is, I think it's like yesterday I was on TikTok, like most of my stories, and I saw. There was this, I scrolled onto this TikTok where there's this girl, she was recording the video and there was this guy next to her. And I think she was planning to record something, like just, I'm assuming it's TikTok, she was going to do a dance. And then all of a sudden this guy grabs her and then like leans in and kisses her and then kisses her again. And everyone's comments was like, oh, why are you still recording? I would have taken him home already. I'm like, huh? Like,
does she know him?
Does she? I'm assuming so.
Okay.
But it was just, it felt like it wasn't planned. Which, again, sometimes spontaneity is nice, but you need to have this level of relationship. Again, someone coming in with no context at all. I'm assuming they may know each other, but it also wasn't giving me they know each other. Because it felt so out of the blue. Because I think she looked shocked, and then he kissed her again, and then I was like, oh, okay, maybe... She likes it because she's kissing him again.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. I think that women have I don't know. I can't speak for women. But I'm speaking for myself. Like I've felt in the past, whenever a man has kissed me, that like, oh, this has happened now. So is there any point me being like, no, and slapping him in the face? These are not like random strangers on the street. These are people I've been on dates with.
Yeah.
But after, like now, I'm thinking about it. It's like, it would have been nice actually for you to ask, because I actually don't think I wanted to kiss you. I think that I just kissed you because I was like, well, he's kissed me now, so it'd be weird if I was rude to him.
That's really...
But also, listen, maybe if you asked me, I would always say no.
I think
we'd never kiss each other. And that is also fine.
Yeah, that's true. I do think that there's a level, again, it's just a level of comfortability. That's a word.
Comfort.
There's no comfortability.
No, it's comfort. I actually hate when people make up words. There's a word for this.
You've known me for 20 years. You know that I just make up words.
It's comfort.
The level of comfort. It really feels like it should have ability after. The level of comfort that you feel around someone. You comforted,
comfortable, but you can't have comfortability.
So you can have able but not ability.
But able and ability mean two different things. Don't they?
They do.
Exactly.
Okay. We'll move on. What I'm going to say is this, like, I think this should be a level of comfort. And I think there's a level of knowing someone. Like, my new rule is that I don't kiss on the first date.
How long has that been a rule? Since yesterday?
Shut up. But either way, that's my rule. And I think it's helpful and worthwhile because it allows you just to get to know the person. But that being said, if you kiss someone on the first date, there's no problem. Do you. But just make sure that you do you on your terms. I'm talking to the women over there.
Why can't the guys do kiss on their terms?
And also men do it. No, because sometimes when they want to do it on their terms, they forget to ask the girl if they want to kiss. Or they forget to read the signals.
I think the show that we're reviewing this week has taught me is we need equal standards and everybody needs to go to therapy. Everybody needs to review the way that they date. Because, okay, you can act like it's nothing, but I'm sure it does add up for that man as well. I've smooched 8 girls, but none of them are my girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I'm out for the count. I'm going 8-0 at the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All these girls have got to smooch me for free. None of them are my girlfriend. It must add up for you too.
Some guys must love it, but...
And there are situations where smooching the person is the vibe. I'm in the club. Let me finish.
Okay, go on.
I'm in the club. I saw you're hot. You're not about to be my husband because I met you in the club. I don't want to marry a man I met in the club.
Oh, she said you can find love in this club. Hey. This club, yeah.
Did he?
In this club.
That's how you end up in, these are my confessions. I don't want that life. I'm good. So what I'm saying is sometimes you're in the club, you're like, I'm feeling it. You're going to get a little smooch and I'm never going to see you again.
Never, ever.
If you are trying to build a relationship, conduct yourself accordingly.
True.
Also, even if you're just not trying to, even if you don't know what you're looking for, conduct yourself accordingly. Don't fall into a situation where because we've kissed now we have to get married. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to get to know people.
You breaking your 1 year stint from dating.
Listen, I will talk about something. This is in keeping with something I'm going to talk about when we get to the review.
Okay.
But it's very interesting.
Oh.
What I'm hearing from you right now. It's
really
interesting. I won't say it now. I'll say it when we get.
Oh my gosh! I hope you remember.
I will remember. But I just find it very interesting, actually.
What did I do?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. We're gonna move on to pop culture news. Actually, you didn't finish. You dating?
Let's move on to pop culture news.
And we're gonna move on.
This is not date and scribbles, honey. You have not paid for that, so you will not be hearing about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. That was a little taster.
Some
for
stints
ya.
may be breaking soon.
Some little taster for ya.
Yeah.
Give us cash. Until then, let's get on to pop culture news.
Ooh. Okay. Well, pop culture news. There's a couple of things which actually I think will lead into our segment that we started from last week, our good egg and bad egg.
Good egg, bad egg.
Yeah, bad egg. Yeah. First news. Apparently, Maya Jama and Stormzy are back together. And I'll be honest, my good eggs are the people that were discovering this on TikTok.
The detectives.
The detectives out there, like your friends. They were out there.
My crew.
Exactly. They saw Stormzy did the TikTok. So
that TikTok was weird anyway.
It was.
Because I remember being like, why is it just him in a swimming pool doing this?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Him doing like a bit of a dance two-step. You know,
for like a good 30 seconds. It's weird. You're a big man.
I know. That being said, I love the song I love the song with Ray. That's also part of my good egg. It's a great song. So yeah, he's dancing in this like villa in Greece. And then Maya Jama took a photo or also another TikTok somewhere else.
Holding a cocktail.
And then
in the background there are some trees.
There's some trees, and then on the roof also was like made of this like bamboo, woody material. And the detectives out there on TikTok did put 1 and 2 together and made love. Oh wait, no, that's wrong.
Okay. Okay. This is interesting.
They put 1 and 1 together. A and B together.
It's not 1 and 2 together to get 2, is it? Does that make sense?
1 plus 1 and made 2 of them.
Becomes 1.
Yeah.
Couple!
Yeah, exactly. And then a photo came out of them walking in Greece. So they're back together.
But haven't they been back together?
There's been rumours, but I think this is the most like official.
Wasn't there like a conversation about how they would cozy up the Brits?
Yeah.
I thought they were back together.
No, it's been kind of odd. I mean, Stormzy has been fighting hard. This is going back to our conversation about persistence. This guy has been persistent.
Listen, he loves his girlfriend. What can we say?
He should have cheated on her though.
Oh.
Sorry, again, my crown is of light, not of shade.
Oh.
But, like, I'm sorry. Like, he cheated. And I don't think it was, like, one simple cheat. I think he was, like, repeat offender. Because the guy was throwing Maya or his apologies in multiple songs. This guy was begging in songs.
Listen, this is going to be like Danny in India, Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know, you do your big cheat. It becomes a big cultural moment. Get back together and you're stronger than ever.
No, but we can't be just publicising that this is acceptable.
It's acceptable for you to decide it's acceptable.
Yeah,
that's
true.
the thing. Everybody should conduct themselves accordingly. If you can get over it, why should you not be with the person that you love?
I agree. I mean,
if you can't,
forgiveness is key.
Then
yeah,
cut it, because it's not nice to be in a relationship with someone who resents you, is going to bring up every single time that you have an issue that you cheat on them. That's not working. But if you're a person who's capable of forgiveness, and you can forgive your partner, and that leads to you guys going from strength to strength, congratulations to you.
Yeah.
My rule, don't tell me.
No.
My rule for the couple.
Oh, then tell me that you...
Don't tell me that happened.
Oh, yeah. I don't... Yeah.
If you are going to get back with him, don't tell me.
Especially, like, friends who I love. If that did happen, which I pray it doesn't, I don't need to know that information because I always look at the guy with a side eye.
One thing about me, I'm going to remember.
Yeah.
I will remember. So if you don't want me to bring it up...
Don't bring it up to me.
Every single time you have a problem... Don't tell me.
Yeah, no. Sort it out between yourselves. It's a hard battle though. Like, you're gonna be fighting that by yourself or fighting out within your couple. But it's important you do, because you need to close the door, because before the door is open, were people to come in. You need to close it, so it's just the two of you together.
I've said
Focus
this
on
story on the
relationship.
podcast before. My aunt and her husband, there was infidelity. She told everyone. She took him back.
Yeah.
Now the vibes are weird.
Yeah, and it
Because
always will. Yeah.
You might be over it, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
My sister's not.
Yeah.
My uncle's not.
Yeah.
My nana's not. We're not over it. You can't treat my family member like that.
Yeah.
If you know that you're going to get back with old dude, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
That's actually a similar, interesting thing. Going back to the review that we're going to talk about soon, is that like how much you share with family. There's a very particular scene that we're thinking of where it just felt like too much has been shared, but
do not tell me. Do not tell me.
Yeah.
But congratulations to two of them.
Yeah, I mean,
what was the other piece of pop culture news? Because I don't have anything more to say about that.
Yeah, neither do I. But do you have a good egg?
My good egg is Jungle. They make sort of jazzy funk music. They've had a spate of videos recently with great choreography, very Bob Fosse inspired, and I'm just really enjoying seeing it. And I feel inspired to learn the choreography. I just love seeing like men and women dancing where it's not like grinding. It's
Grind
like
on me.
It's just like I want to learn both of these parts of these dances.
Oh, that's okay. That's really
thing.
cool. You need to show me some
It's
links.
Very Sweet Charity, which is one of my favourite films, even though I've never seen it.
I think there's an explanation that's needed.
It just has some great songs in it, and it's a very dance forward musical, much like West Side Story. And it was on the BBC the other day, and I watched the first like 20 minutes, and I was like, God, these numbers are perfect. And then I was like, I'll come back to this, and as it's the BBC, it was off the next day.
Yeah.
So I was like, what?
Wait, so is that really your favourite movie?
Yeah, I think about it all the time.
Oh wow. Yeah, Dreamgirls is the one I think is
my
favorite.
Yeah, Dreamgirls is great.
Dreamgirls is probably my favorite.
That's my that's my favourite movie I've ever seen. My favourite movie I've actually seen is my favourite musical.
For me, it's Dreamgirls.
Theatre or movie? Because I have a new favourite musical that I've seen.
Movie and then theatre. I'm always keen to hear.
West Side Story.
Yeah.
West Side Story. I do love Dreamgirls, but it's a sort of like.
Oh, that's hard.
Dreamgirls has so many bits that you're like, this is wacky.
Yeah.
And you love them because they're so silly.
Yeah.
Like when they sing Heavy, I'm just like, why did you do that?
Top. That's actually so
disrespectful.
It's
Disrespectful.
actually so mean.
For what?
Yeah, it was to emphasize what, like.
And when she has her daughter and they're like, what's her name? And she's like, Magic. I hate that so much. It just makes me laugh so much. It's like, okay, you said it like we were all supposed to be like. It's magic. Shut up.
The thing is, I love West Side Story, but I love Dreamgirls because it's so quotable. I have moments where I've quoted Dreamgirls, like, you can't kill a man with soul. It's how I feel sometimes. You can't kill a man with soul. Anyway, what's your favourite theatre?
So I went to see a play called, a musical called A Strange Loop.
Okay.
And it is about a black queer man in New York who wants to write a play, but he works as an usher at the Lion King, and nobody is buying his plays.
Yeah.
His parents are like, why don't you write a gospel play like Tyler Perry? And he eventually gets the opportunity to write a Tyler Perry gospel play, but he feels uncomfortable because all those gospel plays are so like anti-queer people.
Yeah.
And then it descends into this, like the whole way through, it's like this intersection between being black and queer and also wanting to make art. Yeah. And then towards the end, it's about his relationship with his parents and him being black and queer and how they always tell him they accept him, but really his mum would love for him to settle down with a woman and make a gospel play and go to church and move back home. Yeah. And how much she makes him feel like he's a bad person and that he's a disappointment. And I went to see it with my friend, who is queer, but not black. And like within the first 10 minutes they say the N-word and I was like
well,
do you know what it was? It don't even panic for him. My fear always in those things is like, when you hear people laugh, what are they laughing about? The N-word, because they're like, ooh.
I had this conversation with someone who used to be a Mormon, and another person was like, oh yeah, the Book of Mormon play, it's like they don't recommend people to watch it, but there has, is a very interesting take on the Mormon religion.
Gets made by the people who make South Park.
Yeah, which makes sense. And then she was like, oh, there's a lot of racism, very openly racist jokes and things like that.
Mormonism is problematic.
And then also like quite anti-God, anti-faith kind of messaging as well, which for me it's not something I'm particularly interested in watching, but I get what you mean. Like someone saying the N-words right at the beginning of a play, I'm like, wow, this has set the tone.
But like honestly, I think the thing, obviously we don't have that here so much, but like being black at all in the US, especially for Southern, the N-word is a term of endearment. The N-word is a word that you use for towards your friends, towards yourself. So it didn't feel like it was out of place in the play. Yeah. But like you are in the UK, and when you hear that word, it's so scandalizing. But I think I'm not a big fan of musicals usually, but the guy who wrote it was on a podcast that I listened to once, and I love that podcast, and he was kind of fun, and I was like, I really want to watch this, and I went to see it, and honestly, I was like, within like half an hour, I was like, I think this might be the best thing I've ever seen. Like as in the music is so like complex in a way that like sometimes I find musicals have really weird, like not weird, but like when you think of High School Musical, the music is very simple. This could be the start of something new. It doesn't really go anywhere beyond that. There's maybe a bridge. More than you, more than me, more than her. Finally, both of us breaking free. I'm breaking free. Like that is like the most interesting part of the song. So usually I'm just like, one, I can't hear the words when people start singing because my brain just suddenly goes switch off. I can't understand that. But like, I'm not moved by the music. But I was like, these are all such beautiful pieces of music, and they're moving the story forward.
That's good.
And I feel like I'm learning stuff about this character, and it's funny for a play that's like dealing with quite a serious subject matter. It's so funny, and I just like it. Also, I feel like. I think the reason why I love so much queer art is what it taps into is that feeling of other. And as a person of colour, you get it. And sometimes so it's quite easy for me to feel, like to connect to that character because I might not be queer, but I do know what it feels like to like go home to your parents and say, I want to do art for a living. And then like, why can't you be a doctor?
Yeah, why can't you be a lawyer,
why can't you do something tangible that earns money? Like we came here, we fought to come here, and you're telling me you want to do stories. Like, please, be serious. And the guilt that you feel because you're like, these people fucking swam here for which they didn't, by the way.
Come on.
But, like, you feel the weight of what they've given up to come here, and then you're saying, I want to go to work and be like, what if there was a dog that could fly? I'm laughing, but like,
it's actually true.
These are the kind of conversations that you have, and then you think, oh my god, what am I doing?
Yes. It's really interesting. A lot of my stories are very TikTok stories. I swiped up on TikTok and I saw a piece of comedy from Gina Yashere, who we used to watch the Lenny Henry show. That's how I first was properly introduced to her, which is a classic.
Go off, Lenny Henry.
Then she was making
that show slapped.
It did, yeah. And then she made a joke about the fact that she used to be an engineer because as Nigerian, I think she was like first generation born in the UK. It was always expected that she was either going to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or a disgrace to the family. And so that's her joke. That's
funny.
Yeah, thanks. That's really good. You know
what? You should steal Gina Yashere's material and then go to say a theatre and say it.
Can you imagine like
none of the comedic
boo, we've already heard this.
No, but I'm saying it this time. So
yeah, but boo, we've already heard this. Okay, but the thing is, I also thought about like Yvonne Orji that we saw in Soho Theatre, ironically. A very similar story. I think it's just the same story for a lot of Nigerian or West African
people, immigrants.
Is it immigrant? Yeah.
Colour, sorry.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Kara is it's a story from like an immigrant perspective, or especially like your parents are immigrants. They've come over, and there's a level of expectation, and then you want to go into the arts, and unless you make it big, they only when you make it big, they'll be like, yes, my child.
That's my daughter.
Like, she see on her on TV, look at her. Because you're just there for to be boasting. And
every other day, my nan will be like, so are you going to be on EastEnders? And I'm like, where have you got this idea from? Or she'll be like, did you write EastEnders? I'm like, no, I didn't write EastEnders, sweetheart. Sometimes I'm like, yeah.
Don't do that because you know you're going to break her expectation. Be like, that's my child.
But like, I try and... Up until recently, I genuinely think my nan thought EastEnders was a documentary. Like, she'll be like... I remember one time I said, she was like, oh, Kat always wears lovely coats. And I was like, that's a costume. And she was like, what? And I was like, oh, she comes to work. And she's like, what? I was like, so she comes to work in her normal clothes. She's like, comes to work in her normal clothes? What are you talking about? Her name is Kat. I was like, no, she has like a husband and kids and she's a different woman. And she's like, I'm sorry, Stacey's not Stacey. I'm like, oh my god, you're like 95 and you don't understand that the things that you watch on TV aren't real. She's like, I know it's not real, but they're real. Like, that, what? So I feel like when she said, did you write EastEnders, that's her being like, oh, I remember what we talked about. Yeah, someone wrote this and it's not true. Real and you could have written it. And I was like, it wasn't me, but thank you.
That's really
Thank
funny.
you. So like, I don't know, yeah, I just really, I tend to really enjoy things that are about making art because I'm like, yeah, what we do is so weird.
Yeah, and that's why you find a lot of shows, the writers write about the main character or protagonist who is also a writer trying to do art, and like the Girls of the world, or not Insecure, Girls. What's the other shows that have like writers?
I mean, often those shows don't get made. Like there's a understanding in the
so
TV
funny.
world that when someone pitches you something like, so it's about right, you're like, no, nobody wants to watch a show about
Sex in the City.
Yeah, but like
that's been a while. Yeah,
like even the same with Girls. She didn't write TV. You can't make a show about someone who writes TV. No one is interested in that.
About that.
People hate that.
No.
We think.
No, but
nobody does.
A show about a writer or a show about an artist, a struggling artist type of thing. It always feels like there's a connection.
Yeah, but it's always glamorized as well. I think Girls is the first show I ever watched where it's like, this person makes no money.
Yeah,
she cannot look after herself.
She's literally begging her parents for money every week. So like,
it's not the career that you think it is where you're going to become a millionaire. You are going to not be able to eat.
Yeah, I mean,
and for what?
Yeah, and I mean now you're seeing with the strikes, you're hearing about the actors who they were making pennies.
Yeah.
And hence why they're striking and all that stuff. So.
I said back the thing. I say this to my sister all the time because she's a musician. Like, if you want to make money, become an accountant.
Yeah.
What you do is not going to make you, like, going into what you do to make money, you're setting yourself up.
I agree.
Because some of you are going to make billions and some of you are going to make pennies, and that is how it works.
And actually the positions that are making billions or high millions are the ones that are out of music, like the Rihannas of the world who did Fenty, or Jay-Z who has like all these businesses outside of music. So it's unfortunately the industry isn't as lucrative as it may have been before.
Yeah, unless too many of us.
Yeah, too many. Unless you like wrote an incredibly famous song and have royalties to it. You know, like
that's what I would do if I was a musician. I would write songs for other people, make money off that, and then do my art.
Yeah, true. I would try and write, create, and sing a Christmas hit every year.
Every year trying, every year failing.
No, if I made not All I Want for Christmas Is You, but something equivalent, and then every year I know I'm making bread. Every year.
Fun fact.
Go on.
The proceeds of Last Christmas go to charity.
Really?
By George Michael, yeah.
That's actually really sweet.
My last thing about The Strange Loop is when I went to see it, we got upgraded.
Oh, nice.
So we got seats that were like up in the stalls, and they were like, "Do you want to come and sit at the front?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
It's like you're at the airport.
Yeah, it's honestly, it was
always wanted to have that experience.
And that's never happened to me before at the theatre. So we were literally like third row from the front, and there was this mixed race guy who sat next to me. Yeah. And like every time there was like a joke about race, we'd be like, like we were just like, me and him were cackling, and then my white friend would laugh. We'd be like, "Why are you laughing? Why the fuck are you laughing?"
It's that thing, where you go to places.
This is for blacks.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not for you. Why the fuck are you laughing?
Like when I was at uni, I went to like a predominantly white. It was outside of London.
Say their names.
It was York. I was outside of London. It was predominantly white. So anytime we saw black people, you give a little nod, the black nod. And then when my siblings and my family came over for my graduation, they just spent half the time going, "Black people, black people." Anytime there's like someone who was of colour walk past us, so I get it. I mean, I don't get it to that extent, but I can relate.
Yeah, but also because we were so close to the front, sometimes it felt like they were looking right at you, and I was just like beaming. Like, I want you to know I'm really enjoying this, and that doesn't usually happen to me. I feel like also we'd had a really nice dinner beforehand, and we'd had like a couple of drinks, so I was just like in a good mood. Yeah. I was like, I'm so glad that this is good. Because
Yeah.
recently, I've been watching a lot of stuff that's just mediocre.
Yeah.
And it just, I would go and see it again. I don't even know if it's still on because it was on for like 2 months.
Really? I think I saw an ad for it.
Yeah, it's on. It's at Oxford Circus. I know that because that's where I get off to go to work. And I'm always like,
and I see all the ads for like the different shows, and I'm like, one day I'll go.
Yeah,
I'm just not.
I've been to see like Tina Turner.
I really want to go and see
the
that.
Tina Turner show. I saw the Bodyguard as well.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, we went to see the Bob Marley show.
We did really good.
Which was an experience.
It was fun.
The show, fine.
Good. The people, the hecklers,
people.
get rid of them.
What was your good egg of this week?
I already said my good egg.
What's your...
My bad egg.
Yeah.
I think it's probably best that I put my bad egg towards the end because it's going to link very closely to...
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the same then.
Oh, okay. Because my bad egg, after now finishing the ultimatum, which we will review, my bad egg is Lisa.
I told you.
Bam! The bad egg is Lisa. It was locked already for this week.
At the reunion, she did not redeem herself.
No, not at all.
So this is the thing I wanted to talk about. I'll talk about it more when we get into the review. This week was talking to my therapist about anger.
Yeah. And
I was explaining to her, because I had a dream. I don't know if I want to share this. Let me think about it. I'll say it and then I'll decide. Okay. So basically I had a dream where some people were rude to me in the dream. Yeah. And then I proceeded to beat them up.
My God.
But I was honestly, I made a decision before I started beating this person up. I was going to kill them.
Oh my God.
Like, I knew if I start, I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to my therapist and she was like, how do you feel about anger? And I was like, the one thing about me is like, I don't really like losing my temper because part of me is afraid of where my temper will go. Yeah. Like, there is a lot of rage inside of me and I'm always at like a 2. I think I'm always at a 2. Like, really normal things will happen and I'll be like, I'll punch you in your fucking face. Oh, I won't, but like I'm already boiling. Yeah. And I was talking about the situation I've had at work recently where I keep having a similar meeting about a project and the person winds me up. Yeah. And I find myself being like, I'm trying so hard right now not to cuss you out. Yeah. I'm trying really hard and I hate that you got me to this point. So then I feel guilty and I feel bad. I'm like, why do I keep letting him get to me? But equally, I'm like, it's there. It's just waiting. It's like, open the door. Open the door, Marnie. Let me out, Marnie.
The thing is because you know, at the certain spaces, if you get to that point, there's no point of return. No. And especially in the workplace, because I had that moment where it's like I could see it about to happen, and my tone and my voice went high. Like the pitch was getting high. And my mum said something similar. She's like, when she was working and someone annoyed her, her pitch went so high and she realised how angry she was. And I was like, oh, that is a very weird link of how anger can take hold of you, but you have to like almost control yourself. You do. And that is painful.
It is. It's not fun.
Yourself, yeah.
And also, I know that like, what I'll do if I'm trying to restrain myself is I'll just zone out. Not zone out, but I'll just shut down. But the problem is when you shut down is, even if you start trying to say sorry, I'm not trying to hear it. Even if you continue to annoy me, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm like this now. And I can't uncross my my shoulder. I can't uncross my arms. I can't relax. My shoulder's not going down. I'm here. Yeah. And you can't get me out of bed. My therapist is like, what would happen if you just said, hey? She's so... I love my therapist is so optimistic. Like, if we said, hey, I'm actually feeling like this meeting is starting to go in a direction I'm not happy with. I think it's best that we just stop now so that we can come back to this with clearer heads. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get mad and I'm going to be like, exit the Zoom. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the
Don't piss
the thing
me
is
off,
when you're in person it's hard because you're like, oh, I'm going to like I either keep my eyes closed, I either keep my head down, my mouth closed.
The other day I had to walk out of the meeting. I was like, I went to the toilet, but I was like, if I don't get up now, I'm going to dash this whole computer on the floor. I say all this to say, the way that Lisa conducts herself had me hot. Yeah. When she came to the reunion, it was like, I don't apologise for nothing. Then they only to reveal that she worked at Hooters as well. Yeah. And was like, I don't have nothing to say because I feel like Raya was trying to take my man. That's the point of the show, sis. That's the point of the show. Raya is a better woman than me. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, I am telling you, I don't care if you have a baby, 15 babies. I would have been scrapping that woman. How fucking dare you? How dare you? You're sitting here acting all high and mighty because you had a baby. The way you conducted yourself in this show is disgusting.
Crazy.
You should go and get help.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for him, and I feel sorry for your baby.
Oh no, the thing is, he's a chump.
I'm cussing your whole family. I'm cussing your whole family out.
No, because he's a chump because he's just like, yeah, but you know, she did. This is how she felt. I said, shut up, fam. Like, you know that your girlfriends were
a physically abused on the TV and you're still defending this woman. You're a victim. Yeah. You're a victim. No, you don't even know.
No, because that's happened multiple times.
You're a victim.
That's happened multiple times.
You're a victim.
The thing is that Riot Girl, that what was frustrating me the most was that she just stayed quiet. And I know, I know that the bigger person in me would stay quiet, but I'll be so. And there's been times when I've had to do it.
The bigger person in me would not have. Yeah, the bigger person in me not have, because she would have got me out of my character. Exactly. All she had to say was, "Do you know what? Looking back on it now, I overreacted."
Yeah, no,
that is all she had to say. She was like, "I'm not going to apologise for nothing."
But why
I support what I said.
I was like, if I was right, I'd be like, "Why are you here? Didn't you leave already? Like, why are you actually here?"
I'm so sorry. It would have turned into Love and Hip Hop because I would have run across that stage and dragged her. They would have had to take me off the show. Yeah, take me off the show.
Yeah.
Take me off the show. You knew when you put me and this woman in the same place and she said she wasn't going to apologise. It was going to be on site. I'm a different person. She would not have done that to me. In all honesty, the fact that Ryan got up and left when she was moving like that, she's already not different. She's a different person to me because first of all, I'd be like, this is the show, sis.
Yeah.
This is the show. I'm talking to your partner the same way I'm talking to everybody. If you've got a problem, quit the show.
Yeah.
Quit the show. Baby or no baby, quit the show. I don't care.
You should have been in the show to begin with.
I don't
care.
The thing is,
the joke is that you know this is the structure
it's
of the show.
psychotic.
Yeah, like you've watched series 1. I think maybe Quayla was recorded around the time they were recording this one. Mm-hmm. But you know what the structure of the show is. You know the whole point of an ultimatum is that you're going to give this person an opportunity to see what the other side looks like. And if they want to come back to your grass, they'll come back. But you were like, oh, because he's looking at someone else. Fam, you lost me right there.
Something I said on last week's podcast, I repeat now. If it's got to the point where I'm getting physical with you,
get out.
We need to end this whole thing.
Yeah.
We need to end this whole thing.
Perfectly honest, let's be frank.
Because that means I've been lost my temper now. And I'm saying I'm a person who already tries to keep myself in check. If it's got to the point where I'm putting hands on you, I'm lost.
Yeah.
I've lost it.
To me,
put me in jail, actually.
Because when they announced that she was pregnant, that was a big shock.
Fake. I thought it was fake.
No, I
thought it was fake. I said this woman is so unhinged. I would not be surprised if she said she was pregnant. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was surprised.
The fact that they also popped up and they said we're still not married. I said you're not getting married.
You're not getting married.
You're not getting married. The way she was gripping his hand for dear life.
They're not getting married.
It's not gonna happen.
I wish. Even Raya should have just said, "But here's my ring. Oh, have you got a problem? Have you got a problem?"
I don't love my man. Yeah. Your man was talking to me. Your man don't love you.
Yeah.
Your man don't love you. If your man really loves you, what does it matter if I speak to him?
Fam,
you're directing your energy at the wrong person.
That's the problem with some people, especially when it comes to like the man's done you wrong, but you blame the girl. The man cheated on you. Didn't tell the person.
I'm not in a relationship with you. He's in a relationship with you.
I don't have loyalty to you.
None.
He has loyalty to you.
None.
And the fact that you came on this show, there's no loyalty anymore. The loyalty is broken because you knew you guys were going to have to break up. But for me...
She's unhinged.
Yeah.
Why did you come on this show? I think... Baby or no baby, you were not going to make it because you was throwing hands at the first date night.
That was such crazy...
Everybody here is talking to people.
Honestly,
I've come to speak to her. Oh, the reason why I said that is because I felt like her intentions was she was coming to steal my man. And you said it again 10 months later and you don't hear how fucking crazy you sound. I'm coming to steal your man. That's the show. You went on a date with my fucking partner and was telling him, oh, I really could see myself with you.
Yes. Do you know what? I have a couple of points.
You know what? Pick your men.
We'll get to it in the we'll get to it in the review.
She would have had me acting out my character. They would have had to take me off the show. I'm a person. I'm working with it. Talked to my therapist about this weekend, and I was like, do you know what? You're right. I need to find outlets. But
okay, we're gonna continue anyway in the review.
So our bad egg is the same.
The bad egg. Oh, okay, great. Okay,
let's get to the review.
Let's get to the review. Okay, so it's been a while. So RV for this week, if you don't know already.
It's season 2 of The Ultimatum.
Goodness me.
This is the concept for the show if you're not familiar. Couples come on this show. One of them wants to get married. The other is unsure. So they give them the ultimatum. Either you marry me or we break up. But before that, you have to go and date somebody else. Figure out how shit the world is without me. Then come back to me and give me what I want.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of this one.
That is
but also, when you go with this other partner, that's your trial wife or trial partner. And so you're supposed to kind of almost do... You live as a couple. You live as a couple and have to almost treat life as a married couple to see what married life will look like. Which, let's be for real,
you can't do with someone in 2 weeks who you just met. That's crazy.
Exactly.
It's a stupid experiment.
Oh, 100%. Because I think it became very evident by a lot of the couples, all the couples actually on this season. But should we just get into couple by couple?
Yeah, let's start with Lisa and...
Yeah, let's
just start with them because they're out early, so we can
They're out early. So Lisa and Brian.
So Lisa and Brian come on the show. Lisa's like, I'm ready to get married. She's 31, he's 20, he's 30?
He's 29. So 32.
She's
Lisa,
32,
Brian's 29.
29. She's saying, I'm ready to get married, I'm going to get married, I'm ready to get married, I'm going to get married. He says, I'm not ready because I don't think we're in the financial place I'd like us to be in. He's got it in his head that he wants to provide for his wife, which is a very traditional thing. It's not weird.
Yeah, very similar theme for other couples as well.
So he feels like that's an issue. Lisa is like, that's not an issue because I'll provide for us, baby. I'll provide. First of all, if you as a woman are dating a younger man and you don't understand why this man is not in the same position as you are in, you are setting yourself up for failure because 100%. Men are less mature than women anyway, of their own age group. Now you're 32, he's 29, you're in different places.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're 32 and he's 29. You're probably more senior in whatever role you have because you've been working for longer than he is because he is 3 years younger than you.
Yep.
Second of all, if I tell you at home, I'm at the end of my rope, either we get married or we're done, and that doesn't work, and I have to apply to a
reality TV
Netflix
show.
A show for you to come on, what makes you think that this will be the thing that works? What makes you think that? You've come on the show to embarrass yourself, I'm telling you now. And does she embarrass herself. Yeah. So they come on, even before they all meet together, she's thrown a tantrum.
Yeah.
Last night wasn't nice. Lisa was upset. They're sitting on the sofa. He's like, you need to figure out how you're going to handle seeing me with other people. She's like, what do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You know what the concept of the show is. We're all going to end up dating other people. She's like, no, I don't need to handle how I feel about that. You need to handle what you're going to do. It seemed like what she wanted was to go on the show. He then doesn't speak to anyone.
Yeah. And she does.
And then maybe they do what they did in previous seasons where someone proposes to someone at the table.
Yeah, that's
before the show even starts.
Honestly, because season 1 was wild. We had couples that...
right and centre trying to propose.
That was hilarious.
Flop. That
was really flop. That table scene was iconic. Iconic.
Chaotic.
But, again, it was telling dreams that season 2 could not live up to. But anyway, we continue.
So now they're all going on their dates during the day. She's feeling some type of way.
Yeah. But
she can't speak to him because she's got to go on her dates. She goes on a date with Trey. She likes Trey. I feel like Trey's the only person she goes on a date with who she vibes with because she's a very particular person.
I think it's very clear, yeah.
And you either like the kind of person she is or you don't, which is that she's very bossy. She's very much like, these are the rules, this is what I want. And you're either for that kind of woman or you're not. Like, I think of myself as a person who's very sure of what she wants, and sometimes I attract a very particular kind of man who's like, please tell me what to do. I want to be submissive to you, and that's all well and good. You know that about yourself. You have to be aware of that self. Well, you'll set yourself up for failure going after a guy who's like, I'm also a dominant person, because it's not going to work. That's what happened with Roxanne and Brian.
The Alex.
Yeah, Roxanne and Alex. I think it is Alex. And it didn't work. No. You can't have the exact same personality. No. It's not going to work. No. Anyway, that night, all of the couples are together. You're still supposed to be mingling. Brian is talking to Raya. Lisa is at the bar with Roxanne. She looks over. She said, that's pissing me off. Roxanne's like, yeah, but you know, that's what we're supposed to do. She said, I'm going over there. Roxanne's like, maybe wait. Lisa didn't even let her finish the sentence. Really she's gone over there. She comes over and you think she's going to come over and be like, hey? No, she's like, what the fuck's going on here? Basically, what's going on here? Brian's like, oh, me and Raya just talking. She's like, why are you talking to this Hooters bitch?
Oh my gosh.
Raya must have the patience of a saint because she still sat there.
Fam! Raya is the most patient person in this
She's
whole...
still sat. Raya sat
show.
there while this woman dragged her up and down in front of her first. Why are you talking to her for? Yeah. But why are you talking to her for? What could she teach you? She can't teach you nothing. They start arguing. Raya goes, I'm going to go. Leaves. And Lisa proceeds to go in on Brian. You're not taking this experiment seriously. You're supposed to come here and meet someone who can teach you something. Instead of you to be talking to Roxanne, talking to Raya. What can this Hooters bitch teach you? Blah, blah, blah. Going in on Raya. Brian's going in on Brian. Brian's not said nothing. Going in on Ryan. Ryan's not even there. At one point, they get up. He's like, I think you need to take a minute, whatever. She shoves him. Yeah. She literally puts her hand in her face and pushes his head back. Yeah. Walks out, Offset. He follows her, Offset. She's still yelling and heckling and whatever. Hops in one of the channel 4 Netflix vans and leaves. Yeah. Okay. Everybody in there's like, wow, that was a lot. I remember watching that and being like, what man now in his right mind is going to couple up with you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you literally said, this is the kind of person I am.
Weirdly, the next day, Trey is like, do you know what? I really admire your passion. Passion. So you want to get shoved in their face too?
Actually, do you think that happened afterwards?
I have to... Well,
because you don't know, because sometimes they always move things around.
Maybe.
Because that could have happened before.
It could have happened before, but anyway, the way they've structured it, it makes it seem like he sees the way she conducted herself that night. And was like, this is still hot to me. Anyway, it's time for decision making. Where is Brian? Where is Lisa?
All you see is 2 empty chairs.
They said, oh, we invited them to tell you their news. They said they're not going to come. So from then, that's why I start to think it's not real, because why would you not just come and tell people? Yeah. They cut to them in their flat. Here's Lisa. Oh, I wanted to talk to you because basically I've been feeling strange and I'm pregnant. This guy.
The face.
The silence was loud.
Fam.
He said, what are you going to do? I'm so sorry. If I am with somebody and they are my love of my life and I tell them I'm pregnant and they look at me and they say,
what are you going to do?
What are you
going to do? It was like, because we're kind of in this, process.
If she said, I'm going to abort it, he would have supported that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He would have supported it.
I'll be honest, I don't think if that baby wasn't there, I don't think they'd be together.
Nope.
No.
She's like, I think we should keep the baby and it's something really exciting. He's like, same, I can't believe I'm going to be a dad. So, well done, Lisa, because you trapped him.
You trapped him. Honestly, you're like...
This man wants to jump ship. He wants to jump ship.
That's the only reason why he said yes.
Him by the scruff of his neck. And now you said, I'm having a baby, the baby is yours. Whether you like it or not, I'm having it. They then leave.
Yeah, and they refuse to come back on the show.
They refuse to come back on the show.
Until... The reunion.
They're like, we've got an empty seat. I don't even know why they wanted to do that, because they came. We've got an empty seat. I bet you're wondering who the empty seat is for. No, we're not, because we know there's another couple. Oh, here comes Lisa and Brian. When I say she's clinging onto this man's hand for dear life, they sit down, yeah. So they're like, people, you said you was pregnant. What happened? Which is fun. To me, that's such a crazy
It's a wild question, because, perfectly honest, my head was spinning.
I was starting to think, maybe she was pregnant, but she lost the baby. And you're going to have her blurt it out here. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. She's like, oh, well, obviously it was 10 months ago. We had the baby.
Cool.
Then here are people piping up, oh, I want to apologise because I actually said that you were lying when you said that you was pregnant.
Including your dear friend Roxanne.
The dear friend Roxanne. They're like, yeah, you can think what you want in it. To be fair, yeah, I can, because you're not the one who told me you was pregnant.
And also, you didn't come. You didn't come to send the news. Yeah.
I don't know who you were.
Okay, yeah. But again, from her attitude already, from her saying, yeah, I don't really care, that made me think...
Oh, also, when she walked out, I said, oh, she's thin.
When she came back. Yeah.
She looks the same as she did before she went on the show.
Yeah, that's what made me think.
So I thought, oh, maybe she never had that baby.
Same.
Apparently, she had the baby and... right back to normal.
That's what because when she came in, I was like, well, she looks like nothing happened.
She looks like she never had a baby.
And I was like, okay, Well, I do believe that when she said she was pregnant, I do believe it was the case. But then the fact that
she looks, she looked
like
maybe something had happened.
I thought like a miscarriage may have happened. Well, like, look, every baby's a blessing. We thank God they had the child.
They've had their baby. They are not married. And they're not talking about marriage. Here's Brian. We need to really need to work on our relationship. Because the baby didn't fix it.
And then she was like, the baby's not going to fix everything. You're like,
so the baby didn't fix it? But you had a baby with him anyway?
Yeah. It
sounded like you're a mug.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were so desperate to lock this guy down who, by the way, don't do nothing for you.
You're bankrolling him.
He don't do nothing for you. What?
You now have two dependents. The baby and the band.
Really imagine a version of this universe where I am living or dying by a man who doesn't do nothing for me. It's actually not possible.
There must be other things he must be good at.
I'm going to die on the hill. Maybe. I'm going to die on the hill of a man who's 3 years younger than me, first of all.
Yeah.
Who doesn't earn the same amount of money as me. And who doesn't want to marry me.
Oh my God.
You are looking...
She looks like a mug. Absolute mug.
Crazy.
But she has...
And then you're holding hands. We have not married.
She has all the mouth in the world.
They needed a Nigerian auntie.
Honestly.
There to be like...
drag her.
You are smiling ear to ear for what reason? You are still married, sister. Where is your husband? Where is he? You have come here again. I'm married. Your child is a bastard. And you're holding hands, smiling ear to ear for what? Yeah. And you know what? You deserve it.
No.
Now I'm starting to understand what the relevance of those women are. Because some of us are acting crazy out here.
Yeah. No.
Give me your entire life to a man who doesn't want to marry you.
Yeah.
Even after you've had a baby with him, he doesn't want to marry you.
But you stand 10 toes down. 10 toes down if
you're willing to empty your bank account. All the money that you have worked for and earned. You're going to give to him to what? Play basketball in his house.
I'm finished.
You I couldn't get my head around it.
Yeah. No, that surprised me.
Then they reveal. It was kind of weird earlier when you was coming from Raya about working in Hooters, because didn't you work in Hooters? She's like, I don't regret anything I said.
That the minute she started talking, I said,
she hadn't done anything.
Not a thing. The baby did not help at all.
She didn't learn a thing. You've not learned nothing.
There's no compassion.
You've not learned nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, but you was a woman who works at Hooters. Raya is a full 10 years younger than you. Basically.
Yeah.
You worked at Hooters. You think you're better than her. She's like, I'm not going to apologise for nothing because I meant everything I said. Why did you mean it? Because I felt like Raya was kind of trying to come for my man.
And then she proceeds to literally lay into Raya saying...
Again.
To say,
you don't love your man.
And that's why you're coming to my man, because you ultimately knew that you wanted to break up with your man with this experiment. And that's why you're coming to my man to steal him. I'm like, girl, please breathe. Look at your man to begin with.
That's what I'm saying. Raya is I could not have held my tongue.
No.
Whatever Raya has been raised, the patience she's been given, or the submission that she's been given, whatever it is, put it in a bottle. Because you would have had to will me out of that place.
Yeah, because she literally...
In a straight jacket.
Exactly. She sat there and she looked so timid and quiet. If we swap out Raya for Roxanne, would we have had the same altercation?
Yeah. Not with Roxanne. She would have gone there cussing Roxanne, but she would have still been mad at Brian.
Yeah, but to be honest, if she wants to be mad at anyone, be mad at your man. But I find it quite interesting.
I agree with you.
And I find it quite interesting that she was very, very ready, and she's still very persistent to drag a black woman.
A young black woman.
You could have been a friend
to this person. You could have been a mentor to this person. You could have been like, don't make my mistakes to this person. And instead you saw her as competition.
And you dragged her for nothing. And that girl, because she was raised well, she kept quiet, knowing that I can't disgrace my parents on TV.
And that is specifically the problem with people like Lisa. Nobody has ever punched in her face.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever punched in her face. Because if you really understood that, you have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
It's not every day be screaming and shouting.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. When I was talking to my therapist about the theme of anger, I was saying, like, I resent and I feel ashamed when I lose my temper.
Yeah.
She was like, you realise there are people out there who don't feel that. In fact, it is a cathartic process for them to lose their temper. And it really made me think about Lisa, where it's like, she didn't apologise for the way she conducted herself after that. She just went straight into I'm having a baby, as if that fixes what she did before.
Yeah, and that's what.
Do you know how you embarrassed me earlier?
Yeah.
I thought you were calling me here to apologise for how you conducted yourself. Instead, you're like, oh, I've got a new thing.
Yeah.
You didn't even acknowledge it because someone like Lisa has been losing her temper.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure in her family she has been throwing tantrums from when she was little, and everybody catered to her that.
And everyone says like, oh, it's just Lisa.
They've catered to her entire life, which is why she feels comfortable to be in a completely new social setting and belittle another person because nobody has ever stood up to her.
Yeah.
If one person thumped you in your head,
it'd be different.
You would be like, oh, let me.
She came on the rock. Go on Love and Hip Hop. You'll get humbled very quickly because the girls on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta,
I'll fight.
They'll drag you from left, right, and centre.
I'll fight.
They'll drag you for your man alone.
Embarrass you. I'll embarrass you.
It's just that left a really sour taste in my mouth.
It ruined. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, it ruined the season for me. Yeah, it ruined the season for me because I was just like, I hate that we had to see this as an audience. Yeah. I hate that he had to experience that as a partner. And I hate that you have allowed this woman to come back on TV. If this was a man, as I said last week, the entire season would be cancelled.
You'd be cancelled for real. And
put your hands on me. Because I spoke to someone. This relationship is abusive. It's not even toxic, it's abusive.
No, it's true. And I think there's two other things that really annoyed me. One, okay, Raya stayed quiet and then everyone else, like especially the white contestants, were piping up and like defending Raya, which was, it was nice of them to do. But again, I still wish that Raya spoke up. But again, she could. It's like I was even shocked for her. So I think I understand. And then the second thing that really annoyed me is that they gave them a gift. No, it was the fact that they asked them to come back. If the baby wasn't there, I think they would have still been back in this position. Which is what I mentioned last week because I hadn't watched.
You're putting another member of
two members of your team of your contestants at risk, and at the moment we're talking reality shows
for one psychotic person.
Exactly, and then the fact that they gave them the gift, the baby gifts. I know it's for the baby, but I just felt like everything was like very rewarding. And again, because you have very inept hosts with Nick and Lachey. Nick and Vanessa.
Nick and Lachey.
Lachey's a good name. But with Nick and Vanessa, no one's keeping them accountable and being like, do you think what you said was right?
They're scared.
Oh, perfectly honest, if Lisa was going to go and drag anyone, I would happily watch her drag Vanessa.
Lisa could never drag me.
Yeah.
Lisa could never drag me.
Is this...
That fight, let's do it.
Oh, gosh. Okay, should we move on?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Because we need a bit of a palate cleanser.
Different show?
Ryan and Can we go back to the bear from last week? A moosh with, Anyway, Ryan and James.
No.
All the couples will know, but...
This season was just so boring for this. The reasons that were like... This is my reason for why I did not enjoy this season.
Okay, go on.
There are a lot of people who are not bad people, but simply need help.
Yeah.
Right, James is a story about his relationship with his mom, the fact that she abandoned him to drive trucks all the time and that he was self-harming, needs therapy. You can't fix him. You can't fix him. And the worst thing was like, watching that scene where he tells her, it's like, as a person who has a tough upbringing or trauma or mental health issues, it is nice to see you be accepted by your partner and for your partner to say I love you regardless of those things.
100%.
The problem with him and their relationship is earlier in the season you see them have a fight all night.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m, they're still arguing.
When I'm telling you, I was concerned.
Because
I was concerned.
Yeah. Because his issue was that she was waving her hands in his face and that's something his mum used to do. You need to go to therapy because you have triggered. All of these... Yeah, you're triggered. You have all these things that you've not dealt with. And you're going into a relationship expecting someone who doesn't know about any of it to know not to do something to you. And when you have the opportunity to explain it to them, you're not explaining it to them in a way that they understand. So she's like, all I did was this, wave my hands, and now you're telling me I'm a bad person, X, Y, and Z. You're making me cry, you're making me feel sick. I want to go to sleep. I don't want to keep arguing with you. And you're telling me I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
And you're 23.
They're both 24 now. For context, they were 23 on the show, both of them. They've been together for 6 years. Mm-hmm. So since 7 years, sorry. Yeah. So since the age of 16. And To me, they were giving me like they were in it. I'm a Christian, so but they were giving me the vibe that they were met in church and being encouraged to date and marry quickly, but they were against that, and so they just keep on dating until they're both of age, and then they'll get married. But she probably wants to get. She was the person who did the ultimatum. She wants to get married very quickly, or get married after all the times they've been together. And he was like, I'm not too sure, but kept on like teasing that he's lived a hard life and he's finding it hard to open up, etc., etc. So, in their ultimatum decision, he decided to go with Raya, who we'll talk about probably next.
On the basis that both of them grew up in single parent households.
Yeah.
Which is not a reason to get into a relationship with someone.
Wild. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when I saw that scene, I was thinking, is an interesting approach, and I like that they're not just like decided to become a couple from a physicality perspective. Like, oh, I find you attractive, and I find you attractive. It's like, oh no, we're talking deep, and this is something that we really connect with. And so I was kind of hopeful, like, okay, maybe this will be really like an interesting.
They'll grow.
Yeah, an interesting couple. There may be something romantic because I wasn't getting the vibe straight away, but I was like, maybe this could grow into that. And so yeah, they decided to be a couple, and then Ryan decided to go with Trey, who was Raya's partner. So it was basically swapsies, like us trading places, which they kind of made. Yeah, it was weird. They made a kind of acknowledgement to that, which yeah. And so with Raya and what's this guy's name?
James.
Raya and James. The first night when they move in, it's as if it goes from night to day with James. He is completely shut down. He realizes that
he loves Raya.
He loves Raya. He's made a mistake. The realization sets in, and he even leaves the. He leaves the.
He goes outside to call someone.
To call a friend to say basically.
I realise I love Ryan.
Exactly. My clarification. The scales have dropped from my eyes. I realise I made a big mistake. Basically, and I think, in hindsight, maybe he thought, the ultimatum is quite a nice idea. It's a great experiment. It's a good test to really just like see. I've exhausted all options. Like they've probably never dated other people.
I think the problem is different.
Go on.
I think the problem is he does love Ryan, but he's not honest with Ryan.
Yeah.
And he came on the show in the hopes that somehow that would teach him how to be honest with her, and actually. Only you can make a decision that you're ready to share part of your life with her. Like the fact that when he couples up with Ryan, he's like, I've never really been able to talk about being in a single parent household with Ryan. Been together for 7 years. What the fuck
are you talking about? To be perfectly honest, that was wild.
What are you talking
Basically,
about? Okay, fine. You were 16. You're probably talking about maths. You were 18. You're probably talking about where you're going to go to college.
But when you get to when you've left college and you've been like, no, we've been together for a very long time,
I don't know anything about you.
And Ryan's talking about marriage, and you're saying, yeah, I can tell you that you're definitely the one. I've always known you're the one, which is what he was saying. I've always known she's the one. Why the heck are you on this show if you know that she's the one?
You're on the show because you are scared to commit to this person.
Yeah.
Because you have all of these things in your closet that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
And they are stopping you being able to feel comfortable with her. Go to therapy. Don't come on this show because this show's not going to provide you with therapy.
My question is, because this is a really interesting perspective, and I think we kind of touched on this with the Queer Love edition with, not Xander. What was it? There was the person and they had like one name.
Oh, I know who you mean. Ozzy.
Ozzy, yeah. Who, again, had a lot of family trauma. Trauma. Had a lot of family trauma, and it was very clear that actually their relationship didn't need this show. It just needed Ozzy to go to therapy. But my thing is, sometimes, do you think that if they had gone to therapy, or if James had gone to therapy, he would realise that Ryan's not the one?
No, because I think he would have gone to therapy and realised, I'm not fit to get married to someone. So then
He probably knew that already.
You go back, yeah, but the person who will convince themselves that perhaps you're the problem.
Yeah.
Going to therapy will teach you it's just you.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to this person who you love and be like, I'm just not the person to marry you right now. I have a ton of shit that I need to work through, and there's a chance that once I work through it, I'm not the guy that you want. So I don't want to keep you hanging on. If you know that you're set in who you are and you're happy and you're good, go find someone who's also happy and good. Because I might come out this and be like, I'm gay. I might come out of this and be like, I'm asexual. I might come out of this and be like, I want to explore a non-committal relationship. I might come out of this and be like, I want to travel for 8 years. I might come out of this and have, who knows what my epiphany will be. But I don't want you to wait and then for me to turn around and be like, I've had an epiphany and the epiphany does not include you.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, as everyone is on the pod, I'm a Christian, and a lot of things in terms of like Christian dating and relationships, you are encouraged to start like couples therapy, couples counselling in the lead up to getting married. And I definitely watch a lot of, or listen to a lot of podcasts where they talk about some couples who will go into like therapy and couple sessions very early on in the relationship. And I've always been like, oh, that's a lot. Like that's quite heavy at the beginning of the relationship to go through those kind of sessions. But sometimes it may be needed because you kind of want to get to know the person's stuff earlier on.
If you're having to go to therapy 2 weeks in, why is it that we are the one? What about me that made it the one? Because obviously I'm already not the one 2 weeks in. You could feel those things kind of smack to me of I've decided it's you and it has to be you because I'm tired of looking for someone else and I'll just make it work. I just need to know what your issues are so I can work around them. But otherwise I'm going to force it. And being in a relationship is a choice to try and work through each other's issues, right? But what you want at the base of that is that like there was a period of time where I liked you. And I just want to get back to that place. I'm not sure if I ever liked you.
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
Trying to get to that. And with James and Ryan loves James. She has no issues other than like she wants to get married. She doesn't want to live together until they're married. She wants, James to sort of be honest with her, open up to her. But she seems like she's quite well adjusted. James has all of this shit. And even in his trial relationship with Raya, you see all of that shit. He becomes fixated on the idea that like he can't hug Raya or hold her hand or do anything.
Or be affectionate.
Because that would be cheating on his girlfriend, or that means they have to have sex.
I
couldn't get my head around what was the drama there because I couldn't work out if we'd missed a bit and Raya had asked him to have sex, or if he was just jumping to conclusions. But that conversation was really frustrating. And I felt for Raya in that moment. It's like, I feel like I keep trying to explain to you, I don't want to have sex with you, but you keep talking about that we have to have sex. What are you hearing that I'm not... Because I'm not saying that.
No, I think there was like two conversations around the affection. The first one, I was getting a bit frustrated with Raya because I was feeling like, girl, stand up. Stop begging this guy to hold your hand. The guy don't want to hold your hand. Move on. Like, this is a trial thing. It's going to be done in a few weeks. Like, move on. The second time, I was frustrated for her because I felt like, oh, so this guy's trying to make it out as if you want to have sex with him.
You're just weird and horny.
And actually, that's not. Smash cuts, the reunion, we realise who the horny person actually is. It's James. But
you already knew that because there's a date where they're in a hot tub or something. And he's talking about how like foreplay is like this long process, and sometimes it can be first thing in the morning and you don't have sex till the evening, or maybe it's like an hour before, but like you have foreplay so that the sex is good. And she's like, I am now starting to think that maybe I've never had good sex. And when later on you learn that Raya has never orgasmed before, you're like, oh that conversation was probably really important for her because she's now in a place where she's like, I don't enjoy having sex. I don't know what it is, but it's just not right for me. What's going on?
There's so many layers to
How can you be having a conversation like that, and then I'm asking you the next conversation for a hug, and you're telling me that the hug is off limit, but you're telling me all this stuff about your sex life.
I think I do think he was attracted to Raya, and I think he was worried that it could go down.
He was. I think that's why he took so many. I'm going for a run. I'm going for a walk. I'm calling people and being like, Ryan's the one I want to be with. Honestly, I don't buy it.
I
think that the fact that Ryan and Trey got on so well, and they genuinely do feel like two people who come from the exact same background, everything was easy with them. They never had a fight. Those two were a better fit.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan James were probably a better fit. But James was like, it's Ryan I want to be with. It's Ryan I want to be with. And I will force this square peg into that round hole, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I think after like 7 years, your families all know each other. There's a kind of reputation aspect to it. Is that the fact of being like telling everyone that knows you, loves you, has known you for 7 years, seeing you grow up through your teenage years, into college, outside of college, to be like, well, they weren't the one.
Sorry.
I think it's more for status versus anything else.
He says to Ryan, she's not even my first love. He said that about Ryan. She's not his first love. I think the biggest mistake you can make in life is decide that someone you met when you were 16 is going to be the love of your life.
Come on, be for real. Because wasn't there infidelity?
Yes.
Well,
he had cheated on her. And that's why he said he couldn't hug Ryan, because he felt so bad when he cheated on Ryan. Why are you on the show?
It's just, this is the thing, and I knew when we talked about it last week, and when we reviewed Queer Love, like, I get the frustration. I was like, why does this show exist? Because I think this show has demonstrated that ultimatums don't work.
In the first season, I genuinely believe some of these people did need this push, right? I bought into the premise. This season, I thought, everyone on here has brought their partner on here
to embarrass them.
One, to embarrass them. Two, to try and salvage a doomed relationship.
Yeah.
And the fact that they then all end up coupling up with deciding to get married, and then we get to a reunion and not one of them is married, I'm telling you, they're not going to make it to these weddings.
I mean, it's 10 months.
No, problematic relationship after problematic relationship. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get.
They haven't explained. They never explain what the work they've done to make it better. Yeah. Even so, yes, we get to the end. James then proposes to Ryan. She says yes. We get to the reunion, and they're like, "Oh, our wedding is scheduled." I'm not really seeing what's different in this couple.
No, apart from the compilation of they had loads of sex when they had to regroup again for their get back together moment. It's just.
Which they decide to tell us now. Even though when we watched the season, there was literally no sex.
And I'll be honest, that's
not the most sexless season.
And that, like, one of the things that was quite interesting with Queer Love, and I thought was really like, I mean, we talked about it in the review, is like, there was so much undercover action. It was giving me Love Island, but it felt very real. Like, it felt very like raw. Whereas this season, it was trying to be polished, and I was like, why? I don't feel like I got any understanding of the connection that any of the couples had, particularly the trial couples and even the main real ones.
Every single one of them should have broken up.
Yeah, every single one.
And when you find out they're still together, it's just like, honestly, I got to the end of this season and I watched the reunion today and I thought, we're in hell. Like, this feels like a program that you show in hell, if I'm being honest. That these are supposed to be couples that we're rooting for.
No, I wasn't really supposed
to. And there's rot in every single couple. One of them is an abuser. One of them hates their partner, but keeps somehow convincing him that she likes them. This one, the guy's a prick. This one, the girl doesn't love you. What are we doing?
It's to me, the season was disappointing. I mean, we're gonna fast forward here because it was a bit
nothing
disappointing.
To talk about.
There's nothing to talk about because the reunion. Because the thing is, when I watched the last episode before the reunion, I was like, okay, let's get to it. Let's get to this reunion.
I skipped through the whole thing. I skipped through the whole couples making the decision. I was like, I don't care about this.
It was one of the shortest episodes. It was like 30 minutes long. I was like, okay, great. Okay, now get to the reunion. It's gonna be juicy.
Why?
Like, unfortunately, and I hate to say it, I was actually just thinking, who's breaking up? Because I don't see, and as I've normally said, I'm here for the love. I want to see couples get together. I want them to fall in love, but I want the right couples to fall in love and get together, not the toxic ones where they're like, oh, I love him, he loves me. I'm like, come on. When they watch this back, I'm telling you now, unfortunately, I do think a couple of these couples are going to dissolve quite quickly.
Nothing attractive about the way
but some of them still have saved the dates ready, but they haven't set it out.
Because they're not getting married.
So, based on what we've seen so far, it's just very clear that a lot of people should have gone to therapy than coming onto the show. And it also, if anything, it's a good learning lesson and a bit of a blueprint. Is it blueprint for how successful relationships should be, and how important communication is, and how important it is that you are working together in your issues separately and together. Because I think we talk about this with couples therapy, where I think actually a lot of these couples should have been on couples therapy.
Literally.
Because it's like James' story when he shared with Ryan finally, because he didn't want to share with Raya, but he shared with Ryan that he had self-harmed when he was younger, experienced self-harm. He had
too recently as well. He said even when they were together, he was self-harming. He said,
"Shoot, I missed that part."
Yeah,
because it was a very deep moment. But I also, what scared me was like, this is the first time she's hearing it, and we're hearing it too.
Yeah,
and the cameras are here. And I'll be honest, we've been on set before. Like it's not as natural as it looks on screen. It's quite artificial. Even if you're in the park in a having a picnic, which is what was happening in this scene, everything's quite artificial. You have a producer, you have an exec, you have a director telling you.
There were a bunch of people standing around.
Yeah, it just felt a bit hollow.
I think what felt weird to me was that like I said, a part of me was like, wow, I'm so happy for you as a person with this trauma to be accepted by your partner, but equally I'm like, you've put her in a position where she can't not accept this.
True.
She can't not be, understanding.
Yeah.
She could, if she turned around and said LOL, she'd be incarcerated.
Yeah. And also
if she turned around and said, no, I'm less attracted to you.
Or if she said no at the proposal and said, I think you need to work on yourself and I'm here for you, but you need to work on yourself, she would be the villain.
Yeah, you can't win. And I think that's what felt like, as much as I was happy that he felt brave enough to share this story, I was like, you are trapping this person emotionally.
Again,
because now I can't tell you I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
No.
Because you've just told me something infinitely sad. I was telling a friend a story about something that happened to me in uni where like a friend of mine was really unpleasant to me. And then the next time I saw him, he came to my room to talk about it. And clearly he thought he would talk his way out of the issue. And then when that failed, he started crying. And I don't doubt the optimistic version of me is like, he genuinely was sad. Yeah. The pessimistic version of me was like, he did that because he knew I'm not going to fight him once he's crying. Yeah. I'm going to have to be like, oh, I'm sorry that you're upset. Yeah. And we have to accept it. Now we have to move on. And he doesn't have to explain. Because what had happened is he started crying at the point where I was like, your story's not making sense. Yeah. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I started crying now, so you have to drop it. And I did drop it. It worked. So, and I think there are a lot of people who've learned that about themselves. If I tell you something sad enough, you can't fucking come at me. You can't. It's like going to school and like, why are you late? Oh, I missed my bus. That's not anything. Why are you late? Oh, my mum was sick. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just probably going to be like, go to your form room. I don't, you know? And as soon as you learn that, like I call it the pessimistic side of me because I know there are people who use those things deliberately to manipulate you.
Oh, 100%. I literally just thought of a good egg as you were talking with that. Not to sidetrack, but her name is Coco. She's a tennis player. It literally happened this week. She was in the US Open and she was playing this game against... Okay, yeah, it's Coco. That's what Coco... Okay, sorry. So Coco Gauff is a US... she's a US tennis player. She was in the US Open. She was basically winning the game against this like veteran German player called Laura Siegmund. And she's playing, but the thing is with Laura, the opponent, she's trying to do like manipulation tactics to stall the game. So she was basically not really... she was taking ages to serve. She was waiting until the very last second of her limited period to serve, and also sitting down when she's not supposed to. And Coco went up to the ref and said, look, I can tell you now that this player is being unfair because if I had done the same thing, I would be in trouble. She's actually trying to now stall the game. The game is now feeling longer than it needs to be because of this. Anyway, thankfully, Coco won. And Laura, when she was in her press conference, she started crying. She's like, you know, the thing about tennis, we have to be performers. I said, excuse me? I thought being a tennis player, you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win. Anyway, so for me, a good egg, which will probably go at the beginning of this episode, is Coco. But why I say...
keep it here?
Yeah, because I also keep it here as well. But the reason that I'm bringing that story that I mentioned about Coco is that people are very quick to start using the tears and the manipulation because they know
You have to be nice to me.
Exactly. Because
you have to be nice
because
to me.
when I show you my vulnerability, I am now weak, so you must be weak with me.
You have to be nice to me. If you now are rude to me, you're a villain.
Exactly.
Because I've broken down my barrier.
And it changes, and then it now changes to the flip side. Like, now the tension is now back on me.
Yeah.
Because...
And I don't think that the place to tell your partner that you've been self-harming is a Netflix reality show. Okay. I don't think that's the space. But I actually do believe in his... Like, I don't think he did it to get out of trouble. I think he was being completely honest. But what I truly believe is the two of you are 23 years old. You aren't ready to get married.
No.
You don't know who you are yet. I mean, when I say you don't know who you are yet is you've got all of this baggage that you're dragging around with you, and you've only just told your partner, and now you're saying 10 months from now you're going to get married. Yeah, this is silly.
Be for real. I mean, my fear was that because James had kind of hinted to Raya that there was something that he wanted to talk about, but he wasn't ready to talk to her about, or he wasn't going to speak to her about it without speaking to Ryan first. I felt like he was kind of pressured to kind of reveal it, because, perfectly honest, it was quite odd that he was so standoffish with Raya, to the point where Raya's even a bit confused as to like what's going on.
Yeah, why have you switched it up?
Yeah. So I felt like, I'm not saying that he was forced to say it, but there was probably a gentle nudge to say something. But I 100% agree. When I look at all the couples that were in this season, and even probably the previous season, and also Queer Love, majority of them were in the late 20s to 30s. They're the youngest couple, and when I saw that they were 23, 24, I'm like, why do you need an ultimatum?
Why do you need an ultimatum?
You don't, because
why are you on this show?
Why are you on the show? Because really and truly, Ryan, if you really want to get married, you could ditch this guy and find a guy and marry him in a year. You
want to marry him because he's your childhood sweetheart, but you also want to tell him when to do it.
Yeah. And it's very clear that a lot of these childhood sweethearts, they don't last.
Why would
they break up?
We don't know. If we are each other's soulmates, because we've never spoken to anyone else. Okay, yeah, he cheated on you, but that's not actually going out into the world and trying to fall in love again. That is it's infidelity. It's very different.
It's true. I'm very grateful to say that I didn't have a childhood sweetheart because I'm not saying you'll be locked down. You can have a crush when you're younger, but I just feel like
you shouldn't.
To be locked on in the relationship from the age of 16. Fine, I've got GCSEs and A-levels to do. I've got to finish my degree and get a job.
You start making decisions around this person.
Yeah.
And you start to resent. So one thing that I thought was really illuminating, and why I really strongly feel that they should be in therapy and not on this show, is when they had lunch with James's mum.
Yeah.
And she was like, you wanted to go work for NASA, and now you're telling me you don't want to work for NASA. You just want to be with Ryan, which is maybe fine. For Ryan is true.
Yeah.
But his mum is like, that doesn't seem right to me, because maybe he's told his mum another story, because his mum is very ambitious. His mum seems to think work is the most important thing, and she's left her child by himself, which is illegal.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more to that story, but anyway. The way she was, I could understand why he's the way he is. But at one point, she's like, what I don't want to happen is that you start to resent each other, because actually deep down you do want to work for NASA, but you're saying you don't, because you guys have been together for 7 years, so you're like, oh, we should be together, and I want to have a white picket fence and 2.5 kids and a dog, and then you do it, and then you're like, I'm not happy.
You're doing it for tenure versus actual love.
And then you'll suddenly resent each other. Yeah. I think about this. And then obviously in her talking head, she's like, I just think it's stupid to not make a decision over a decision that's monetarily wise in favour of love. What does that mean? You can't, feed your family with that. She is a very particular problematic being. She's a very particular human being. And felt very familiar in a way that I didn't like, if I'm being honest. But her saying that to them, maybe the truth is James only said that because he wanted to make his mum happy. Yeah. But equally, maybe he's only saying he wants to live in a white picket fence house with Ryan because he wants to make Ryan happy.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he wants.
How would you know what you want? Because you've not worked through it. Yeah. You've got to this point where you've realised that your relationship with your mum was toxic, and now you want to do everything that's the opposite of that. But you might come to, maybe out of that, you might come to a place where you're like, my relationship with my mum wasn't great, but it also has given me lots of things that I find very beneficial about myself. So actually, yeah, I do want to work for NASA.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have to turn around to Ryan and be like, do you know how I sold you that dream? I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You're 23. Why are you making big fucking life decisions?
Come on.
I don't think you should make big life decisions until you're 25, if I'm being honest.
Plus. 25 plus. I think...
I don't think you should.
I'm perfectly honest that, 23
I mean,
was,
you can.
was a
No one
wild
will
year.
stop you, but you shouldn't.
No. I think it's just...
You
Especially
shouldn't.
if you're aware of some of the trauma that you're facing, you need to prioritize that first versus anything else.
You need to want to be the best partner.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that people forget about taking care. Like, the part of trying to better yourself is because you want good for yourself.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is that you want to be a good partner for this person that you eventually meet who is the love of your life.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to happen is you meet the love of your life, but you are so troubled that you fuck it up for yourself.
Yeah.
That's why you go to therapy.
Yeah.
Because I need to know what my traumas are, I need to know what my triggers are, so that when they come up with the love of my life, I'm able to communicate. That wasn't about you.
It was about me.
Yeah.
I'm
working on it.
Yeah.
Not, it was about me and I'm not going to do nothing different about it.
I was listening to this podcast literally over the weekend about a guy who I followed on YouTube, and I've not followed this for quite a bit of time. And he was on this podcast that I normally listen to called Their Future Wifey. And I was quite interested to see what he's going to talk about, because he normally talks about relationships. But this time, he wanted to talk about the fact that his mum had suffered from, and is still suffering from, schizophrenia and paranoia, and how that trauma has really impacted his life, and he's only just realising the trauma that he's experienced, and he's 32. And the host asked him, what would you want to be in a relationship, or would you want to get married one day? Because when I'm telling you, this guy was very raw and blunt in the way he talks about his relationship with his mum. He's like, he hasn't spoken to her for months, and also I think he made a very blunt comment, which I don't know whether he will regret, or it was very matter of fact in his mind. He said that he would have preferred if she passed away, he would be happy with, and I just don't feel like that was. I don't know. I can't speak for him, but it just felt very it felt very blunt.
It feels like I feel like
he was very detached, and he even said it, very self-aware that he was detached.
It's very detached, but I actually think the another thing at the heart of that comment is, if you have a dead parent, people know how to conduct themselves with you. Oh, it's sympathy. It's if you have a parent who's alive but is schizophrenic, people don't quite know how to address that.
That's true.
They don't know how to deal with it. So you are not getting the response that you need when you tell people, which is like, I can't even get through to this person. They're not who they were, and they actually have been chaotic and unstable the entire time I was growing up, which has affected who I am as a person. And people are just going to turn around and be like, oh, you're not going to get the sympathy necessarily that you would if your parent was dead. So I get it. Obviously, you don't want to wish something that you actually don't know how you would feel about. Yeah. Like, you don't know how you'd feel if you said...
It was a bit shock when I heard it on the...
But what I get about it is that, like, if your relationship with her is basically non-existent, what would be better for you is if they were dead, because at least you would have something to say that people understood then. Oh, I don't speak to my mum because she's a paranoid schizophrenic and she's roaming the streets. Maybe if we're eating dinner one time, I might look out the window and my mum might be there. I wouldn't know what to say to someone if they said that to me.
Same.
I don't know what I would say to them.
Same. And I mean, one of the things that he kind of said, and he made it very clear, he's very self-aware of the trauma that he's experienced, and the fact that
you think
he's...
you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You think you're self-aware.
That's the thing. He was talking a lot, and in his mind, he has coached other people in terms of like their traumas. So that when I had that pod, and that was the topic of the pod, I was very, very surprised, because I was like, the time that I had followed you, and I haven't followed him for a very long time, I've never heard about his personal life in this level of detail. I never knew anything about his mum. And look, it's not for me to know, but what was surprising was like, when they asked him, are you ready for a relationship? He was like, no, I'm not ready for a serious relationship. I'm not ready to get married, because I know there's things I need to work on. Like, I'm self-aware to know that there's things I need to work on, but I'm more than happy to have, like, the flings, or I'll go up to 2 years and then I'll have to do a kill switch where, like, after 2 years or 3 years, I just know that if that person does one thing to me, I'm gonna just detract myself from the situation. If they even trigger me one way, I'm just gonna put the kill switch on and just cut them out of my life. And he was just very matter of fact and blunt about it. And I'm not saying it's not good what he's saying at all. It's very worrying. But
it's a coping mechanism. You actually
100%.
haven't really healed.
100%.
You haven't really healed.
Yeah.
You've created systems to protect yourself
100%.
from the feelings you had when you were a kid dealing with your mum. That is not healing.
But what I did appreciate is that he understood and recognized, I am not ready for a committed relationship that will lead to marriage. Because, you know, he's a Christian as well. So in his mind, like, he understands, like, marriage, kids, family. You know, he said that he's been called to ministry. Like, he knows everything of that all of that stuff is linked. So for him to even get into that type of level of commitment, he's not ready to look after the sheep. He's not ready to look after his parents if anything happened. He's just not ready. So he will detract himself from it. I appreciate that level of awareness, even if he thinks he's being super self-aware. Because I think there's a level of hurt you could hear deep down. But I think with James, there isn't that awareness yet. He's just recognizing there's been a problem. He's recognizing that some of this impacts from him self-harming has now impacted the way he's living his life now. But I don't think he's got to the point of how that impacts his relationship with Ryan.
Yeah, or you think, the bad thing is the self-harming.
Yeah.
So if I stop doing that, I'm good.
Yeah.
Wrong. What are the thoughts that lead you to do that? They're all still there.
Yeah.
They're all still lingering inside you. So, okay, I'm not causing violence to myself, but I still have the thoughts that it's like, I'm losing control of this situation. Yeah. How can I gain control of the situation? Which is already the non-healed part of you, because you aren't in control and you can't be in control.
Yeah.
And it's painful. As a person who also has experienced a sense of like, I feel like if I had control of the situation, I'd feel better. And I'm still learning to let go of that thing. The reason why you feel like that is because you're still living in the extreme of it's this or it's that. Yeah. But real life is not that. It's a spectrum. And you could conduct yourself in that control sense and still end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get hurt either way, why put all of the work into I need to manage the situation?
Yeah.
You're not even managing it.
No.
You're not, because you're still going to get hurt.
And you're bringing someone else for the ride with Ryan. Or you're
okay, you break up with them after 2 years, but you're miserable because you missed them.
Yeah, exactly. So for me...
Or you never liked them.
Yeah. To me, I think that when he does the inner work, which I hope he does, when they get married, whenever... he does the inner work, because if she says I do, she'll be experiencing the I don'ts later on. Honestly.
And that's the thing with someone like Ryan is, yeah, she's well adjusted and she seems like she's had a good upbringing and whatever. What are you doing with this person who's clearly not ready to get married?
100%.
Forcing them to try and marry you.
Come on.
You are living in cow cuckoo land as well. You need help as well.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at somebody who's told you time and time again, I don't want to marry you. You still are thinking, how can I make him marry me?
It's actually just...
Leave him alone.
This show really infuriates me.
Leave him alone.
Should we just move on to Trey and Raya? Because we talked about them anyway.
Yeah.
Trey and Raya. Let's talk about their ages first. Trey is 29. Raya's 25. She gives me young energy.
She feels young. I will say this. I've felt a kinship towards Raya, if I'm being honest, because I probably, in a relationship, am the Raya rather than I'm the Trey, which is that like...
Really?
Which is that like... How do you know this is it?
Oh, sorry, in terms of like the...
How do you know this is it? And how do I know I'm ready to do this? What if I want to travel for 8 years? I don't want to be locked down. Leave me alone. I feel like you're forcing me to commit to you because you come from a 2-parent household and marriage is the norm. Yeah. Listen, my mum raised me without being married, so marriage is not the norm. You really need to convince me that this is the best option for me. Don't start telling me stories about what you need, because that's not going to work for me. You need to sell it to me that this is hey, money, if we get married, your life is going to be exponentially better.
My question is, and it goes back to always with this show, is if he was the one, why would he need to sell it to you?
Listen.
Because if he was the one, he wouldn't need to sell it to you. Be like, hey, baby,
no, but that's
me and you.
But that's what I mean about about Riot. Same with James. I don't doubt for a second that they love their partners.
Yeah.
I don't doubt for a second there is like an alternate reality where they're already married to this person.
Yeah.
The problem is, you need to work on your things.
Yeah.
Because if you are afraid of commitment, if you're afraid of locking yourself into a situation, you are going to have a problem whether the person is the love of your life or not, because you are just inherently afraid of this.
Yeah.
So she never said, I don't love this man. She said, I do want to spend the rest of my life with him. But marriage is official. Marriage is the lock and the key.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be locked and keyed in anywhere. I don't want to do it. And it's not you, it's me. And I know because so many people misuse that it's not you, it's me thing.
Yeah.
It's lost its value, but sometimes it really is not you, it's me. I am waking up in a cold sweat thinking about the fact that I'm going to have to take your name. What happens to me? Who will I be?
Yeah.
You're not having those fears. He doesn't have those fears because
No.
he's seen people get married and their lives flourish. But I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. So all I'm thinking is I'm going to be a different person.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree to things that I wouldn't usually agree to if I was on my own. I'm going to wake up one day in this marriage and look in the mirror and be like, who even are you?
Yeah.
You're not money.
Yeah.
You used to be hot and sexy. Now you're mum. Wig is askew. Eyebrows where? What is happening?
Because that's what makes me think about the age of these guys, because Raya is 25. I'm assuming she was 24 going on to 25, and Trey is 29. And when we were 29, and I can speak for myself, when I was 29, I definitely had a bit of the oh my goodness, I'm turning 30 kind of crisis. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like where I expected my life to be at 30 and where it is right now is not. It's not money. Yeah, it's not the same at all. It's just not. It's not giving. And there's this like push, like to complete all this stuff by the time you turn 30, and then you turn 30 and realize, be for real, you can do anything you want after 30, regardless. But I think that maybe some of that pressure to get married came from the fact that Trey was like, look, I'm a bit older, I'm hitting this point, I'm probably getting pressure. I see it all around me, my friends and my family getting married. They have at very young ages or younger ages. I feel a little bit left behind. Raya seems to be a good fit. And it's a whole like taxi theory where it's mentioned in Sex and the City where like it's not about the girl, it's not about a particular girl that he falls in love with and wants to get married to. It's about the timing, and once he's ready to get married, the first girl he meets is the one he will marry.
I don't even think it's that. I think people underestimate the power of growing up in a two-parent household.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate that, because I don't know about you, but when I think of my friends who are married or who are coupled up,
two-parent households.
they grew up in two-parent households.
Yeah. I'll be honest, everyone.
They grew up in even my friend who is in a relationship with someone who is of the wrong sex to the people that she's attracted to, grew up in a two-parent household.
That's the story for
Is that not what's compelling you to stay with this person? You're not even attracted to him anymore.
Yeah.
But why can't you leave? I don't have that fear. All of my friends who did not grow up in two-parent households would not hesitate to remove themselves from a situation they don't want to be in anymore. But the people who grew up in two-parent households will be telling you stories about why they must stay with this person that you're like, but you guys, but wait, he called your mom a bitch and you're still with him.
Actually, no, all of them, close friends, are from two-parent households. I don't really hear much wahala, but...
You won't.
No, and
but you know why you won't? Because they never, when they were in their two-parent houses, their parents didn't do stuff like that.
No, it's very insulated. But it's also quite scary because it's actually the case. I don't have any friends who are married that were from a one-parent household. But we need to break the chain.
The difference is, I think the issue is, people who grew up in two-parent households understand the idea of compromise and settling in the way that we don't.
Yeah.
Why would I settle? I never saw anybody in my life settle. You decided not to stay with the person, so clearly the settling wasn't it.
No,
so I also hold myself to a standard where it's like, I'm looking for something specific, and I won't stop till I get that thing.
And I think the other thing also, and because I know I can speak for myself, is definitely a bit of fear that I do not want to end up in the one parent household that I saw.
Yeah, and that's why I said I really related to Raya, because the fear of commitment is not I couldn't be in a couple. The fear of commitment is, what if you're the wrong person?
Yeah.
What if I do this and then I find myself in the exact same position I was in? I might as well have stayed by myself. Yeah. Because then I have no expectations, I have no regrets, because I decided to be by myself. Then I really pinned my hopes and dreams to you, and then you flopped. And then I'm right back where my parent was. So what lesson did I learn? I didn't learn a damn thing. I did the exact same thing you did.
That is true.
So, as a generation, this is going to continue. Generational inheritance. Yeah, my kid will inherit this too, apparently, because I didn't learn. But that's because you're looking at it the wrong way. And that's what I feel like stuff like therapy, church, whatever it is that enlightens you to be like, there is another way to do this.
Yeah.
You need to hear it, because you are then doomed to repeat. Because now you are the problem in your relationship. Because of your lack of commitment, the other person also can't. I can't be committed for both of us.
Oh, no. I think it's very clear with Trey. He's ready to commit.
The next thing you know, you've gone on a dating show, you've gone on an ultimatum show, and your partner is saying that he felt a connection with someone else.
That was
and
wild.
now you feel burnt. You know why you feel burnt? Because it has activated that fear that you always had, which is one day you're going to leave me for someone else. Or I'm not enough for you.
Yeah.
Or all of this stuff. But you have orchestrated this.
Yeah.
But you don't see it
No.
that way.
Because basically, Trey, as we mentioned before, couples with
Ryan.
Sorry, goodness me, the names are so familiar. With Ryan. And they are two pieces of the pod. There's a connection. They just talk so like there's a great communication between them.
They both grew up in Alabama. They're like very similar upbringings, very similar hometowns.
Yeah, there was no fights, no arguments. I'll be honest, Trey was probably he was attracted to her. And he 100%. And he made it very clear to her that I'm attracted to you. I'm very interested in you. And Ryan was like, okay. Okay, great. I'll be honest, Ryan's never dated a black guy. And Ryan's never seen herself dating a black guy. And Ryan will never date a black guy if she marries James. So I'll be honest, she wasn't interested in him in that way. No. She always had James in the back of her mind. And James also had her at the back of his mind. And, when it got to the reveal day or decision day or the swapsy day, I can't remember.
Time to go back to your original partner.
Yeah, just go home. Trey made it very clear to Raya that he caught feelings and, there was a connection.
He even said it to Ryan.
Yeah.
I've got feelings for you. She said, okay.
Yeah. I think he caught feelings for her because of the safety. I think he just felt safe.
It was
nice.
It
was nice. And do you know what? But to be honest, I didn't see a connection.
No, it's like turning around to one of your boys and be like, should we get married?
Yeah. It's like, I saw friendship. I saw a very, very nice friendship between them. And it was very sweet. But if I saw him try to even lean in for a kiss, it would be like at the beginning of the segment or beginning of our pod where she'd be like, no, I'm good.
No, she'd be very polite. You're kind. You're sweet.
You're so kind.
You're so
special.
Sweet. I just love spending time with you as a friend. You're sweet. You're sweet.
Oh, gosh. She should just do what Sid does in The Bear last season.
Be like, no date.
Yeah, no fun.
No, I don't want to get dinner with you, you dumb cunt. Oh, my God. Ryan.
Whoa.
Ryan.
Yeah. So, he was catching feelings. She wasn't. Raya, on the other hand, I think if James was down for it, they would have.
Raya said, the way she was pushing for the hug, what she was saying is, I want to experience another relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can know I love my man.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not giving me that.
No.
So now I love my man, but just because of a lack of relationship.
Yeah, which
is not how you make a decision.
And that's what was kind of pissing me off. It was like, I'm not getting the full experience. Like, I know that's part of the show, but I think what was frustrating me was like, why are we? What is the purpose of this show where you're like, I'm just gonna cheat with this stranger.
On your man. That's the point of the show.
With this stranger, like it's not like I'm gonna cheat. This show would make sense if it's like I've always had like my partner that I care about, but this one person that I always felt like, what if this could happen? And then you experience the what if and see then, oh, I've done the what if, and now I know that my partner's the one, or I've seen the what if and actually seen is better on the other side. There will be more stakes because there is more of a relationship versus some stranger that you're only going to be with for 3 weeks and let's be honest, I'm not I can always go back to my other partner that I've been with for 7 years or for 2 years or for 15 years versus someone I've just met for 3 weeks. Queer love was slightly different because I felt like, I don't know what was in the water, but something was just something was more intense with those 3-week relationships versus what we're seeing with this show. So,
yeah, as we said earlier, it was like felt very much like people were aware that if they did anything sexual or romantic, it would come back to bite them. And so they were deliberately keeping people at arm's length.
Again, what is the point? That is the purpose of the show.
But when Trey and Raya get back together, Trey basically says to Raya, I did catch feelings for Ryan, and Raya is like, I don't know if I can get past this. And as I said earlier, the issue is not the infidelity, the issue is the insecurity surrounding the connections, the way that someone like Raya forms connections, which is that, like, I am ready at a moment's notice for you to let me down.
Yeah.
That is what I'm primed for.
Yeah.
So I cannot enjoy this relationship because I'm just at the back of my mind constantly thinking you will let me down, and now you've done the thing that lets me down.
Yeah.
So now the thing the impulse I'm fighting is my fight or flight.
Yeah.
And I want to flight, but I also don't want to flight, but I also want to flight, and that is why I'm saying I don't know if I can get past this.
Yeah.
Because if I can't get past it, I'll be feeling like this entire relationship is not going to work.
Yeah.
And then they spend time together, and he really works on his communication. One of the issues they have, weirdly, is that she wants to live in the city and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And what I found really frustrating about this conversation, I read some comments afterwards and they were like, why on earth would he want to move to a city when she doesn't have a plan for how they're going to live in the city? But if I'm your partner and I'm telling you, you have a job and I have a job, and you can get a job and I can get a job.
Yeah.
I would like to experience living in a city because I've never done that before. Before I settle down and decide I'm going to live in the suburbs, and you tell me no.
Yeah.
You're just saying flat no. You're not even trying to discuss it with me. You're not even saying let's come up with a plan. Nothing. You're just saying no. You're stupid. That's a dumb idea. I don't want to be with you if I'm being honest.
No.
Because that is exactly goes back to the fear. I don't want to feel trapped.
Yeah.
And the way you're talking about this relationship, it sounds like the minute I agree to marry you, I'm stuck.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like we're living the white picket fence.
We're stuck.
Yeah.
So I was very surprised that when he proposed to her, she said yes.
Oh.
Even though they had no clue about answering that issue, the conundrum that they had was not sorted. She agrees to marry him. We get to the reunion now. Oh, we're getting married in 2025. Okay, sis.
Yes, but yeah, let's wait and see.
Okay,
Also,
sis.
I think it was this couple that they never said, or she had never said, I love you.
Prior to them coming on the show. That should have been a fucking prerequisite of the production team. Why are we having couples on here who've never even told each other they love them? The ultimatum has no value if people haven't even told them that they love each other. I need to know that you've asked me to marry you before and I've said no.
Yeah,
why are you asking her to marry you if she's never even told you she loves you?
Oh my gosh.
Where are you paying
That's why I was just like, it just didn't make sense to me. I was like, she's really pretty and I get it. Like, she's beautiful, but it's just so stupid.
Somebody needs to explain the delusional... how people who grow up in two-parent houses are equally delusional. What are you talking about? I've never told you I love you. You're telling me let's get married. Because I feel like what happens when you grow up in a two-parent household is that you think that relationships work on I've decided it's you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to force it.
And also you just hang on in there when issues are bad, yeah.
I've looked at you, I say that, all of those jagged edges of you because you grew up in a single-parent household and you're scared of commitment, all the stuff, that's hot to me. I am going to force you to be with me. I'm going to stay around until you be with me. I'm going to convince you that you're crazy if you don't want to be with me until you be with me. Where is your dignity, sissy?
On.
Because there's a woman out there that wants to be with you. Probably. Yeah. It's not me. So let me go.
It's not Ryan or Raya.
Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me go. That girl, everything about... I don't know what it is. I know what it is. She needs to go to therapy. She has the energy of a person who's being held hostage.
Yeah. Even there was in the reunion when Lisa was going at it, and then even when they were doing a Q&A between Trey and Raya and asking, would you wanted to speak to each other outside of the show on social media? And there's this time when they just panned in on Raya, and you can just see like her just crawling into a shell.
Deep discomfort.
Honestly, and it was like, and
I don't think we ever saw her be comfortable on the show.
I don't think
There was not once. Her hope was James. Her hope was James, and then James immediately let her down.
Yeah.
So I think at that point she accepted, oh, apparently I'm never going to feel comfortable in life. So I just need to pick a person and stick to them. And that is really depressing. And I feel for her. She needs to cut the shackles of Trey. No offense to Trey, I'm sure he's going to make someone a lovely husband.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's these two.
Yeah, he's giving me youth pastors, youth pastor and his wife.
And again, based on this relationship, I just said, you two need help. You should not be getting married.
The next couple that I feel like also were like timid relationship, shouldn't be getting married, not sure what was going on, was Kat and Alex. Kat is 28, she's a travel nurse. Alex is 32, who works in software sales.
I feel like you can't talk about Alex without talking about Roxanne.
Yeah, should we just, and then we'll combine.
They're the last couple, right?
No, that's the second to last. The last couple is Roxanne and Antonio.
Roxanne and Alex are the exact same person but different genders, and their whole personality is job. You know that scene in Barbie where Ken says, "My job is beach." Their job is job.
Yeah.
Their job is job. All they talk about is working. We're entrepreneurs, and we are business owners, we work. Oh, I had the best days with Alex because what we do is we wake up in the morning, we have breakfast together, then we work, then we have lunch together, then we work, then we have dinner together, then we work. That sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Watching this show, I really sat there and I said, is this me?
No. Yeah, I mean...
Is this me? And the answer is no.
No, there's been times when I feel like my life, my day schedule is just work, home, sleep, work, home, sleep.
My schedule might be that, but the fact of the matter is, if I was on a show, I'm not thinking about should I spend 2 hours writing a one pager. Grow up. We're business owners. We both understand how much work goes into being business owners. You two are oppressed, and going back to what I was saying about people who desire control in their relationships.
Yeah.
Those two are the most controlling.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Using work as a shield. I want to talk to you about our relationship thing. I'm too busy, I've got work. How convenient. So that means we only talk about stuff on your terms. We live on your terms because you have a job. And I don't know why this was the season of women bankrolling men. I don't know why. But the way that Roxanne lauded over Antonio, that she was the provider, made me sick. Antonio, stand up.
Yeah, it was...
Nobody deserves to be in a relationship with someone who makes them feel lesser than because they earn more money than them. You're older than him as well.
Yeah,
what do you expect? I'm sorry, this is so bizarre. You expect him, having worked for less time than you, to earn more money than you.
Yeah. I mean, she's 31, he's 30, but still... I think there's an expectation.
He tells a story earlier where he's like, I spent a good chunk of my life doing jack fucking shit. So I'm essentially 25. Because I didn't do the stuff you were supposed to be doing when you were supposed to do it. I wasn't building a career. I wasn't building my business. I wasn't doing anything. So I'm starting from scratch now. You knew that when you fucking started dating me. Why are you making me feel like shit about it? She treated him like garbage.
Oh, you
did. I'm so sorry, because at the time I was like, oh, Alex is a menace.
No.
Based on the end result, she got exactly what she deserved with Alex.
I think, she got exactly what she deserved. Like you said, she was very scared when she realised Alex is not going to play.
He's not going to give you what you want.
No, he's gonna speak up.
You can't control him and he can't control you. So this relationship is going to flop.
So for context,
you're with who you are with. You're with who you're with because you can control them.
Yeah.
As much as Kat was sitting there, no, Alex never tells me what to do. First of all, you're delusional.
Oh, come on.
You need to wipe the scales from your eyes, sissy, because the man is diabolical.
Yeah, come on.
He's diabolical. And as Antonio said, which I think was really harsh, but sometimes the truth needs to be said, he said, you don't have a single original thought. You have no opinions. Having a conversation with me is like talking to a brick wall. That's why he likes you. Because he goes to work all day and he comes home and he chats his shit and you go, wow. And then you go to bed. Roxanne's there trying to be like, let's connect on an emotional level. He's like, no. That's not what I wanted. That's why it didn't work out. But Kat is literally the definition of, yes, queen, give us nothing. She gave nothing. The only time she had a film was like, when you came up to me to tell me that Alex was this, Alex was that, I thought you were just being malicious because you're jealous of us.
Yeah.
I said again,
come on.
another example of a woman's issue being another woman. Your man has made this woman feel secure enough that she could talk to you like that. Why don't you question that? And deal with that. Why are you coming at me, sissy?
Yeah, to me, the four of them as a pairing confused me because I just started to blend each one into one.
Everybody just ended up matching with the couple of the person that their partner was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
it's
that's
gross.
It was really messy, and also because I was like, I think in their mind, production was like, well, we've got 2 black couples, 2 white couples, 2 So I think they
and because one of the couples wrote themselves off.
Yeah,
this has to be the parent.
Exactly.
Now.
I think they felt like, oh, it's gonna happen. Like we're gonna have a bit of a. They knew there was gonna be some trading places in terms of the couples. So, but for me, Alex is a reflection of what's her face, Roxanne. I felt like there was definitely a lot of stirrers, but also when Alex was like, Antoine, or what's that? Antonio.
She doesn't respect you.
She doesn't respect you. He weren't lying.
Antonio ride or die for Roxanne. You know why? Because she pays his bills.
Bills, fam.
He is a kept man.
You are. Like,
if I was Antonio, I would do the same thing. No, you're lying. Yeah. You don't lie because I don't have to worry about where I lay my head. Because my rich girlfriend pays for
me. Even in the reunion when they're trying to talk about, I'm doing this job in the car business. I was like,
embarrassing. You should cut that to yourself.
Yeah.
Because the silence.
The silence.
The way people were like,
okay.
Do you know how fucking embarrassing that is to tell them what your business is, and they're just like,
cool.
Anyway.
It just felt like
even Roxanne was like. She hates him.
Okay, but we can fast forward. When so the big deal between those couples was that
at first Roxanne and Anthony are having Roxanne and Alex having the best time. Oh, it's so nice to be with someone who's like me. Oh, it's so nice to be with someone who's ambitious like me. Oh, I want to have 12 kids with you. I want to suck your dick. All of that stuff. Oh, incredible. Something happens that I feel like we miss off screen because the next time you see them together, she's like, I hate him.
Yeah. That's what I meant. I was so confused.
Do you know what I think it is? One of them tried to initiate sex and the other one passed on it, and that's what the problem was.
I think
because suddenly the turn was immediate.
I think Alex probably initiated. Roxanne said no.
I think it's the other way around.
I don't know. To me, everything was messy, and then the girls' night happened, the guys' night happened. Then that's when the animosity happened.
They both went to girls' night, boys' night to chat shit about the other person.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because something had clearly happened the night before.
Yeah.
Alex is telling Antonio, Roxanne doesn't respect you. She thinks you're a bomb. Roxanne's telling Kat, Alex doesn't respect you. He thinks you're a loser. You're boring. You're dull.
Yeah.
His mum was telling me that she wishes he was with me.
Yeah.
Then here comes Kat. Oh, his mum was text me. She said that you don't like Antonio. And now Antonio is doing, when I tell you somersaults to make the logic work, he's doing somersaults to make the logic. He's like, no, Alex's mum is lying. Why would Alex's mum lie? Well, if you make someone like Alex, who's a liar, then you're a liar. Anything to convince him, I'm not leaving my rich girlfriend. I'm not leaving, that's what she said.
Yeah, no, my favorite...
Instead of doing the somersault, she should have just said, she's rich.
My favourite thing is when he left the house and was running down the street. I was like, guy, stand up.
They ran into each other's arms like the two of them were Romeo and Juliet.
So stupid.
You've been confronted with the truth of yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, their segment on the reunion was the most cringy bit. I had to fast forward because I felt so uncomfortable.
But for context, both Roxanne and Antonio, Jesus, Roxanne and Antonio, Alex and Kat, they both proposed. The guys proposed, and the girls said yes.
Kat and Alex are happy.
Yeah.
At least they're performing happiness.
Well, I'm telling you, when Kat and Alex, they said, Kat said yes. Alex, he looked like he was kind of struggling with that smile. Like he looked like
he doesn't seem like a human.
No, he was like smiling, but I was like, blink twice if you need help. Like that's what he was giving me.
They don't seem human.
No.
Both of them, Kat, a person I've never even encountered before, and Alex, I've met an Alex before, and he needs help.
Yeah.
Just a narcissist.
Yeah.
The way that when him and Roxanne had their big falling out. Sorry, I've got hiccups, so this is gonna sound kind of weird. But when they had the big falling out, he was like to her, she was like, you saw me doing chores and you did it help? And he was like, you're not going to tell me when to clean and when not to clean.
Oh my god.
Sorry, we live together. Like, if I don't know when you're going to clean, am I not going to end up cleaning what you're planning to clean? We need to coordinate.
Yeah, it was that. That's
He's like, you're not my mom.
When I saw that, I was like, you know what?
Again, she's a better woman than me.
Yeah.
Because I would have thrown some Photoshop.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I'll be honest, when I saw the two of them, I was like, this conversation they're having right now is actually a reflection of some married couples. So actually, you are doing child marriage in this instance, but I just felt like the lack of maturity was I was struggling with it because everyone was
asking. These were two people that had perfectly functional coordination. Communication, who suddenly, the whole thing crumbles. And over cleaning the toilet seat or whatever, cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It was weird. But yeah, everyone...
That's why I don't believe it. Something else must have happened because you're not just turning on me like that.
I'm just
Go for a bathroom.
100%.
A bathroom that would have been dirty all week.
Yeah. But then also on the proposals front, Roxanne and Anthony...
Antonio.
You know what?
Antonio was hot as well.
He was, but stupid.
Yeah, he was hot and dumb.
Yeah.
Why can't you just accept your hot dumb boyfriend?
Yeah, exactly.
Your hot dumb husband.
Exactly, and you just pay for his life. But she wasn't down for marriage. She was asking her parents, also from a 2-parent household, like why they were getting married.
Yes, and you know what her issue was? She thought she could do better.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
Break up with him.
You feel like, why am I going to lock myself down? I'm a catch and I'm going to wait until I can get the guy that I want. But Antonio said, I'm not going
anywhere. Like, and
he said, and I'm telling you, I'm not going. You're the best woman I've ever known. There is no way I'm ever going. No, there's no way. No way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't want to be free.
Wow.
I'm staying. And you're gonna love me.
Jesus, actually really deep those lyrics.
She needs help.
She does.
And guess what? She said that whole song and still he didn't want to be with her.
No, and the thing is...
That's the lesson. You can sing as many songs as you want. Exactly. I don't like you.
No, and when they got to the reunion, that's when the joke really intensified.
No, it got crazy.
Because we come to find out that Roxanna's not wearing her wedding ring.
Pause that. Even at when he proposed to her, this is how she said yes. She's crying her eyes out. Not happy tears, sad tears. She does the most miserable head nod. And then he says, you have to say yes. And then she says, yes. If that is not a cry for... And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about men not being able to pick up on body language. Yeah. Everything about the way that she's responding to your proposal should tell you she doesn't want to marry you. And you are so determined, you want what you want so much, you're refusing to see the red flags.
And then, she's not even wearing her wedding ring.
She's not wearing the wedding ring. She's brought the box.
She brought the box. She's got rings on every single finger by the wedding ring finger.
And he's just sat there. He's getting clowned on a daily basis. And he just sits there. I knew she wasn't going to wear the ring. It's fine.
To me, when he was saying that kind of
jokes... He's going to kill her.
I just thought...
One day, he's going to strangle that woman to death. Because I don't know how much rejection or disrespect any one person can take before they lose it.
I think he's just going to leave her, but...
He's not going to leave. He's not going to leave Shoshana. Did you not hear the song? And I am telling you, he's not going to leave her. He will never leave her. She will have to push him out of her door.
She literally...
He's not going anywhere.
She had to struggle with the wedding ring, but I'm assuming that he didn't even buy the wedding ring from the show, but...
He bought 2 extra rings. To try and encourage her to wear the ring. She said, I'm still not wearing this. My issue is that you don't wear a ring, so why should I wear a ring?
To me, that was one of the funniest moments, but also just so disappointing again. To watch. And then...
I don't think you can... I truly do not think she likes that man. No. Because if I liked you, you're my friend, yeah?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't disrespect you like that.
No, I mean, thank
I couldn't do it because I actually do. I care about you.
Yeah, because even when Nicholas J was as a joke, ordained minister. I can actually...
Yeah, would you marry him? She said, absolutely not.
No. I was like, huh?
And he was like, I knew she'd say that.
I was like, you seem to know everything. We don't need to know that she doesn't like you.
And you don't need to know your worth. You're not a bad guy.
No.
Okay, yeah, you don't have a big job, but there is someone out there who would be desperate to be with someone like you because you're so attentive as a partner. You want to make your partner happy. But part of me was starting to think, is it not just because she pays for his lifestyle? That this is the service that he's providing, for the money that he's earning?
Most likely.
It wasn't making any sense.
No. Or he wasn't making any sense. Because you know she's about her business. But yeah,
I was just I do not like how she treated him.
No.
And
she became really the villain towards the end.
Yeah, and I also wondered, actually, like, there was something quite anti-capitalist about this season in that the two people who are work-orientated are two of the worst people on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So what we saying about people have jobs? But I feel like it's not even that. Everybody on the show had a job.
Yeah, I think it's
and you guys are acting like you're the only two people who've ever had a job.
I think it's the whole idea of like the woman out earning the man and the dynamic and the power that some, not all, some women put over men because they feel like, given that I'm the breadwinner, you should be grateful for me. And I think that's where you miss the trick, and that's where you miss the understanding of what a marriage or what a relationship looks like, when there should be a partnership between the parties. But
Roxanne's problem is, to put it succinctly, Roxanne wants to be the man in the relationship, but she's in fact a woman.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is she wants someone to control, but she wants that person to also provide and be a man. You can't do both of those things. Yeah. Alex is good. You know why Alex is good? Because he's still a man.
Yeah.
So Kat is ready to sit there and be controlled and battered from side to side by this man, because why he's doing what is his duty as a man traditionally. What you're trying to do is untraditional. Yeah. And therefore, when you're doing something untraditional, you have to accept that you won't get all the things that you wanted to get. Yeah. She said, no. I want to be the man and also marry a man. I want us to be in a gay relationship. So
basically queer love.
Me and my man, both of us serve the same purpose to each other. It's not possible. No. It's not possible. If you've decided you want to be the breadwinner, you have to understand that responsibility comes with that. And you have to accept that your partner doesn't earn as much as you do. You have to accept it. Because you want to be the breadwinner. Yeah. You're happy because it means that you're in control of the relationship. So why are you then getting on at him that he's not taking control? You don't give him space to take control because you want to be the man. And I don't believe in those gender roles myself, because I feel like I'm not the most feminine. Like, I'm quite an independent person. I've looked after myself my entire life. I probably will still want to look after myself even if I have a partner. But I'm not delusional enough to think that I could marry a man who earns less than me and also expect him to run this household when I'm the one giving him money underneath the table for him to pay bills.
Oh my god.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
But yeah, that's, to me, once I saw that they were still together in the reunion, as well as all the other couples, I realised this was not my season and I was not interested in it.
Every couple is bleak.
Yeah, exactly.
There is not one promising couple, not one couple to even look at and go, do you know what, it's worth falling in love. Yeah. This show, is why I said it feels like a TV show that you show in hell, because they really wanted us to be like, well done. Well done, guys. To 5 couples that should be on opposite sides of the planet. Oh, yeah. You shouldn't even be living in the same country as each other. You're so different. Yeah. And some of them, malicious. Some of them not. Like, I genuinely believe that Ryan and James, they don't mean bad things to each other. Ryan and Trey don't want to do bad things to each other. But you've not worked through your shit. You're going to hurt each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. You just are. Yeah. And Antonio, if you're ever in London, you want to do little...
No, he's too dumb to see the signs, to not see the signs.
You want to be making girls breakfast every day? I'll eat breakfast.
So foolish.
I'll eat breakfast every day.
I'm so done.
That's exactly what I want. I go to work, I come home, my husband cooks me food, and I go to sleep. Well, the house is clean, the children are fed, they've been done their homework and they're slept. They're slept.
They're slept. No, but for me, it's been an interesting ride with this season.
It was shit.
Yeah.
It was actually shit. I would honestly not recommend you watch it.
Okay, I was going to say, should we do our ratings very quickly?
No, 1.
I was going to do...
I feel like
1.5.
I lost brain cells watching this show.
Same.
And I feel like I regressed on my journey as the human evolution. I've gone back a step for watching the show.
I don't think I have, but I just was disappointed because I felt like we've gone through a season where as a pod, we're watching some good shows.
Yeah.
And then usually, even when those shows, these dating reality shows have mess and drama, I always take away like a nugget of like how to relate to people in a relationship. And I just didn't get any learnings from here because I felt like everyone was out for fame, everyone was out for ego, they didn't know what they want, and ultimately they're on a show about an ultimatum and they all stay together.
The way that Roxanne was going at Alex at the reunion, where you said this, where you said that, where you said this, that's not what you said to me when we were together. You said you wanted to have kids. Let it go.
Yeah.
You're sat there with your fiance. Why are you still going on at me?
I couldn't care less anymore.
You're obsessed with me.
Yeah.
I'm the one that got away.
Yeah.
I'm the one that got away.
Yeah. So on that note, we're going to get away from
the
ultimatum and move ahead to our review next week, which is Hijack on Apple TV.
It is Hijack. Very excited.
Idris.
Elba.
So I'm excited for that.
Who plays a hostage, he plays a negotiator, closes deals, but today he's going to have to be a hostage negotiator.
Yeah. Did you ever mention the point that you were going to bring up from our chat in Good Egg, Bad Egg for the ultimatum?
It was about anger.
Okay.
And it was about the fact that one thing I know about myself, I would never be Lisa. Because I have shame. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. The problem with Lisa is there's no shame.
Yeah.
You even came and sat here again and started your bullshit.
Yeah.
Nobody has taught you shame in your life.
Yeah.
I'm not proud about losing my temper. I'm actively working to be less angry as a person. She came on there and said, I don't give a heck. Anyone can get it. And I'm going to continue to conduct myself like that.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to have a man. And it really makes me think, why should I work on my issues actually? Maybe I should continue to go.
Yeah.
I should walk out into the world as the rotten mess that I am and hope for the best.
Well, that's why I feel like...
I'm not rotten. I'm not a rotten mess. I'm actually a massive sweetheart.
Well, I mean, that's why
With
I feel...
a heart of gold.
Goodness me. Yeah, that's
my
why I
only
feel...
flaw is I'm too good.
Finished. I'm finished. I'm actually done.
My only flaw is I'm too committed to being a good person.
I'm done.
I should be more reckless.
Yeah, because you're not reckless enough.
I'm not.
But anyway, this has been an interesting review.
Flop.
We are going to come back next week with hopefully a takeoff.
Hopefully a good egg.
Yeah, exactly. A great egg. Oh, goodish egg. And also an opportunity to take flight and fly away from this this title.
It's not a flight you really want to get on, if I'm being honest. Just full disclosure, you are not going to want to get on this flight. This is the opposite of a flight that you want to get on.
Oh my god.
If you are even remotely nervous about flying, this is not the flight you want to be on. But if you love a bit of popcorn TV, you're going to have a really good time.
Sounds good. But yeah. This has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Vani.
Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.